Welcome to Pasadena, California for CCL Baseball on the Foresters Radio Network. Today we have an early week matchup between the Arroyo Seco Saints and the Santa Barbara Foresters. I'm Hunter Shoemaker alongside Nate Martin, and thanks for joining us on your Tuesday evening. Well, Nate, the story so far for the Foresters through 3 games has been the offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the last 2 games, opening day against the Riptide, it was kind of slow, only 6 hits as a team. Since then, it has been red hot. They currently lead the CCL in average, but I expect an offensive showdown this evening as the Saints, that is who we are playing, lead the CCL in slugging.
When you look at the offensive numbers, a little bit more for the Foresters. Get this, 13 runs a game through the first 3, averaging 15 hits and averaging 9 walks a contest through their first 3. Unreal numbers.
Yeah, they just love to get on base. They love to pass the bats around and just stack up runs against their opponents.
And it looks like our first pitch will be a little bit delayed. It was slated for 6:05. The field still getting worked on and getting hosed down. But now, Nate, we can take a look at the starter today for the Sturs. Bryce Navarre, the lefty from Montgomery, Texas, will get his first appearance of the year with Santa Barbara.
Yeah, was introduced to the team today on the bus ride over. 6'1" lefty, plays Texas. One of a few pitchers coming from Longhorn pitching staff. And he's got a lot of pitches that we could see worked in today. Mainly going to be seeing that 4-seam fastball. I expect him to use that sweeper, change-up sort of thing. And then to really throw off hitters, he's trying to we're throwing a splitter, which kind of looks like a fastball and then just drops down. That can be really confusing if it's on. So if he's able to have at least one of those off-speed pitches, maybe 2, it's going to be a long day if you are a Saints batter.
On the flip side, we've been talking about the offense for the Santa Barbara Foresters, but Arroyo Seco hitting .393 as a team. That's currently leading the CCL in slugging. .536 also leading the league so far.
Yeah, and there's just a couple of guys that you got to keep an ear out for. Joey Milto, second in the CCL in slugging, around .870 right now. And then a couple of guys down the order of a DH for this evening. Jack Little, .846 slugging. So just a little different, I guess, in the style in terms of just looking for those extra base hits, looking to find the gap in the outfield and take advantage of some of the speed that their guys have.
And this will be the lineup today for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Leading off and in center field will be Maddox Mandino. To bat second at short, Sawyer Farr. Batting third and at third base will be Easton Muma. To bat fourth and in left field, Brenton Clark. Batting fifth and in right field, Terrence Kill the second, who just got activated today and will be playing his first contest with the Sturs. Batting sixth and at first base, Caleb Hoover. To bat seventh and at second base, Easton Ruley in the 8th spot. And catching Grant Madrid Murray. The DH today will be Brady Dallimore. And, of course, Bryce Navarre will be the starting pitcher for Santa Barbara. And looks like on the infield, Nate, a little bit of an issue at the second base bag. Second base still isn't hooked up into the infield, and looks like there's going to be a little bit longer delay before this game will get underway.
Yeah, everything looks all set besides that. They haven't really hosed it down yet. So definitely still going to be a bit of delay as they try to sort out that issue. But yeah, to your point about this Foresters lineup, I especially think, it's great to see some consistency from the hot streak of the weekend with the top 3 guys in the order, Mandino, Farr, and Muma. That was your top 3 on Saturday and on Sunday, where the offense just exploded, especially Sawyer Farr. He was phenomenal those 2 games, hitting .500 right now on the season, had the Little League home run on Saturday, had a couple of hits on Sunday, so he's really hot. Same with Easton Muma, who currently leads the CCL an average of .615. Of course, the season is so young, but, this is a guy that was rolling in hot from his time at UT Rio Grande Valley, carried it over into the summer ball, and is looking to keep it hot as we head into the week. The first full week, really, of baseball.
Yes. The Stars will have 3 games on the road to start off the week, and then we'll begin their first homestand of the season at the back end of this week. And we take a look a little bit more at the last game against the MLB Academy Barons. 22 hits for Santa Barbara, and they were able to push in 21 runs. Every Stur had at least 1 hit. Everyone in the starting 9 also plated a run all the way through production.
But also, if you look at the Saints game on Sunday, they had 18 hits, scored 17 runs against the Philippines baseball group, and they only allowed 4 runs on the mound and 8 hits. So they were equally impressive on Sunday as well.
And to that point, in terms of what we've been talking about, how good the offensive numbers and the small sample size has been for these 2 teams. Santa Barbara entering today 3-0, so the only team in the CCL, I should say now the only undefeated team after the first off day, undefeated, and Arroyo Seco at 2-1, which is currently second place in the very young season.
It is a very young season, as you mentioned. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And look, the vibes feel really good with this Foresters team right now, I do have to say. But there's still so much that could happen. There's still guys that need to be added. Some guys may start off the season cold, may get a little hot as the season goes on. And it's the opposite. Maybe they start off hot, and maybe they get cold as the season goes on.
And again, if you're just joining us, there's an issue with the second base bag, and it looks like a crew of soon-to-be 5 to 8 people are going to be surrounding second base, trying to get that base lodged in correctly, and still part of the infield will need to be watered down. So a later first pitch, as first pitch was scheduled for 6:05 local time, but the sun will be setting directly behind home plate, especially the outfielders, before the sun will fall behind the oak trees surrounding this amphitheater-style seating at Jackie Robinson Field will be a factor of play, especially as we approach sunset.
And we talked about, how shade can impact. We saw that especially at Cal Lutheran on Saturday against the Oaks, where, the shade slowly came in. There's really not that much cover, especially along the outfield line in terms of the shade and tree cover.
And we are at Jackie Robinson Field right across the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and the Rose Bowl is going to be quite busy in the coming days. They're going to be hosting PSG in a massive soccer match, which will be coming up this coming weekend.
Club World Cup, the Champions League winners, of course, had a great performance this season. Sadly beat my Arsenal in the semifinals of that tournament. We're definitely bummed about that, but it looks we're starting to get maybe some movement on the diamond.
And the two managers now meeting at home plate, but the first full week of CCL play coming up for the Sturs. They're taking on the Arroyo Seco Saints. First pitch coming up just after this. Back in Pasadena, a short word from our sponsors.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Back in Pasadena, California, about to get underway between the Santa Barbara Foresters and the Arroyo Seco Saints, just right across the street from the legendary Rose Bowl. The second base bag is officially tacked into place, and the infield completely watered down, and the Saints getting introduced. And once again, we can take a look at the starting lineup today for the Sturs. Leading off and in center field will be Maddox Mandino. To bat second, the shortstop, Sawyer Farr. Batting third, and at third base, Easton Mumma. In the cleanup spot, the left fielder, Brenton Clark. To bat fifth and making his Forester debut, the right fielder, Terrence Kill the second. In the sixth spot, and at first base, Caleb Hoover. To bat seventh, and at second base, Easton Ruley. In the eighth spot, the catcher, Grant Madrid Murray. And the nine-hill hitter will be the DH, Brady Dallimore, with Bryce Navarre getting the start on the hill for the Sturs. But now out into the field are the Arroyo Seco Saints. Liam Thatcher will be taking the hill, the right-handed pitcher who just finished up with Glendale Community College, the Altadena, California native. And we've had some fantastic weather, Nate, throughout the start of the season, and we'll continue here today as all the players now take to the field, and we will have the national anthem will step aside, and the first pitch will be coming up after this in Pasadena. Back in Pasadena at Jackie Robinson Field. Game 4 about to get underway for the Santa Barbara Foresters, and they're going to be facing a right-hander from Glendale CC, the Arroyo Seco Saints starter, Liam Thatcher, on the bump.
Yeah, Thatcher, shorter pitcher, 6'1", 190, but he makes up for it with a great, record. This past season made 7 starts for the Vaqueros. Around 4.27 to be specific, and did a good job of getting strikes, limiting his walks. So clearly a guy that has a good command over his pitches. Did a really good job also coming in at some points in the season later on in games and getting saves. So very versatile guy for the Saints. Someone that could give some of the Foresters hitters some problems. It is his first appearance for the Saints. So don't know too much about how he'll handle the CCL and some of the higher level D1 type of players.
And the Saints today will be wearing a dark blue top with white bottoms, and the Sturs wearing their all-gray unis here this evening from Pasadena, California. Not a thing in the sky, and the American flag away in center field, blown slightly in towards the plate, which will hinder the hitters trying to take it in a right field or into center. The top three to start off this ballgame will be Maddox Mandino, Sawyer Farr, and Easton Mumon Knight. We highlighted a couple minutes ago with the delay getting second base secured in the infield, but the Sturs and the Saints have been, through 3 games, the 2 top teams. A very fast start offensively for both clubs.
Yeah, that is why they are the 2 top teams. It's the offense, especially Sunday, as I said in the top. You know, the Saints did a really good job, 17 runs, 18 hits. For the Foresters, 21 runs, 22 hits. So just very hot bats right now. Of course, both teams had the off day yesterday. See if that hinders anything for the guys in the team. As the third base coach for the Foresters, Steve Shuck, makes his way over. Mandino stepping into the box. Mandino especially been red hot, done a really good job of driving in runs for the Foresters.
And the Sturs will start with a lefty switch hitter and lefty with Mandino, Farr, and Mumma. Maddox entering today, going 8 for 18. That is a 4.44 average through the first 3 contests. Here comes the first pitch from Thatcher, the windup, the pitch, and it's going to be a fastball away at the knees and underway from Pasadena. Mandino, who bats from the left side, along with that 4.44 average, as the second pitch will be a fastball located down the middle for strike 1, even the count at 1, slugging .500 through the first 3 contests. Now 1-1 to Maddox. And Liam Thatcher, the Altadena native, steps back, and the 1-1 delivery is a fastball spoiled down the left field line outside the amphitheater for strike 2.
Yeah, Mandino just a little behind on that pitch there. Still trying to figure out Thatcher, the pitcher, for the Saints.
Coming set is Thatcher against the leadoff batter for the Sturs. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, the windup, the delivery. It's chopped over the mound to the shortstop. Enright holds his ground. The shortstop and the throw to the first baseman is into the first base dugout, and it looks like it will go out of play. Errant throw from the shortstop, and Mandino, the leadoff man, is aboard for the Sturs.
I just don't think Trotter Enright, the shortstop for the Saints, was expecting the wheels that Mandino just pulled out. It looked like it should have been easy out at first, but Mandino just goes into overdrive and is able to make a challenging play, kind of catches Enright unexpected and forces an errant throw.
And that ball did not go out of play, just ricocheted off the front of the dugout. So Maddox is at first to bring up the switch hitter, Sawyer Farr. That's from the left side, and the first pitch is a swing and a miss late on the fastball, strike 1. Both these teams, we've noted the offensive prowess for both clubs. Both teams quite aggressive on the base pass. The Sturs have attempted 12 stolen bags on the year. The Saints have attempted 16 in just 3 games. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Maddox goes. The throw down to second base is close, and that ball got away from the shortstop. So Mandino in safely at second, stolen bag.
Yeah, it's just the MO of a Bill Pintard Forester team. Stolen bases. And they start early here. Mandino already in scoring position. The leadoff man, all it will take with that speed as well is just to hit into the outfield from Sawyer Farr to score.
And Farr now at a 1-1 count, who's hitting .500 through the first 3 games, going 7 of 14. Still nobody out, man at second. Well off of second base is Mandino, but the pitch is up and out of play and nearly hits the stadium lights down the third baseline and into the park to our left here at Jackie Robinson Field, with bleacher-style seating in a U shape around the infield. So Farr now has to protect the plate behind in the count 1-2, with Easton Mumma and then Brenton Clark scheduled in this inning. Nobody out. Mandino at second. Thatcher looks back to the second base. Double takes, and now the 1-2 delivery of Farr is going to be a fastball down 2-2.
Good location there from Thatcher. Just missed the zone. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to attacking Sawyer Farr here. Try and get a swing and miss.
And the right-handed pitcher working from the first base side of the hill. Nobody out, man at second. just underway in the first. The 2-2 pitch is lifted down the left field line and a high foul ball, which will just plop its way a few yards left of the fence line down that left field line. It remains 2-2.
You mentioned how beautiful of a setting it is. I mean, I feel like we're going to get an amazing sunset tonight, which is just the signature of the Pasadena area with the Rose Bowl and sporting events. It's just something about it I just can't put your finger on.
And not a thing in the sky. Beautiful afternoon. It was a little bit warmer when the Stars got here compared to what they have been used to last couple days. First pitch was 76 degrees. But now the 2-2 pitch gets away from the catchers in the dirt. Sawyer Farr had to shift back not to get hit on the right ankle. It looked like the fastball was in the dirt, but Mandino all the way to third base on a wild pitch. So he reaches on an error, a stolen base, and now to third on a wild pitch. And the Stars in business early here in the opening frame.
Yeah, and that's just something that happens a lot with Maddox Mandino is he gets on, he steals a base, and then weird things happen. Errors, wild pitches. No different there.
Count now full for Sawyer Farr. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. And Farr goes down swinging. It looked like the changeup away from Thatcher to get Sawyer one away in the first.
Great pitch choice right there from Thatcher to go kind of with the off speed, generate the swing and miss. Farr was definitely sitting a fastball there.
Mandino remains at third, and that's going to bring up Easton Mumma, now with a 1 out, just underway in the first. Easton, through 3 games, hitting .615. He already has 8 hits and 13 ABs. Here comes the first pitch. It's going to be fastball down, ball 1.
Yeah, Mumma has to be the guy at the top of your scouting list if you're the Saints because he leads the CCL in average right now.
Also a .706 on base percentage. All of those hits, good for singles so far for Mumma, as the 1-0 pitch is fouled back directly behind the plate, just above the backstop for strike 1.
Yeah, we haven't really seen some of that extra base power from Mumma just yet, but he does have it. He had 11 doubles this past year for the UT Rio Grande Valley Vaqueros, top 5 on the team.
Man who bats from the left side. Remember, Mandino is at third base. Stars look to score the first run. A single out, and Thatcher, the 1-1 delivery. Fastball away, ball 2.
Good reaction by the catcher there for the Saints. J.J. Kinnett to pop up. Not let that ball get past him.
To follow Easton, Brenton Clark on deck, and then Terrence Kill the second would be scheduled 2 batters' time. 1 out in the inning, and the 2-1 pitch is sprayed back into the screen halfway up, just towards the third base on deck circle, and the Stars are housed on the first base side of the park here at Jackie Robinson Field. Seco Saints down the third baseline. Mumma, a couple waggles through the zone, the lefty batter. And Liam Thatcher, 2-2 pitch is sprayed back again. Nearly the identical spot for Easton. It remains 2-2.
Something that's been a trend early here is foul balls late down the opposite field sign. That's telling me that the Foresters may have been having a hard time catching up to the velocity of Thatcher.
These are the 2 top teams offensively through the first 3 games as a 2-2 pitch is just away. Missing away at the knees. Count now full for Mumma. Clark next. Mandino remains at third after reaching on an error, stolen base, and a wild pitch to get him to the third station. 1 out. Stars look to score a first run here in the first. 3-2 pitch is a fastball line to the shortstop, and Mandino will scamper back to third. Can't double him up, but Mumma, a line-out victim, 2 out in the first.
It was a well-hit ball by Mumma. Just got on a good part of his bat, but was driven straight to the shortstop end right. Unlucky there for the Foresters. Had 2 unfortunate outs. You have a strikeout to Farr, and then that time a line-out right to short. You don't want to leave Mandino stranded at third this early in a game where offense and runs could be a lot.
Here's the first pitch and a massive cut from Brenton Clark late on the fastball. Clark nearly swinging out of the shoes on the first pitch, who has gone 5 for 12. That's good for a .417 average through the first 3, slugging .583. Can he bring home Mandino? 2 out, the 0-1 pitch squares around to bunt, sees a fastball away, 1-1.
I like the decision to go for the bunt there. Both of these guys, quick, good speed, especially Mandino. If it's a well laid down bunt, he could easily beat a throw at home.
We'll see what Clark goes to here, who bats also from the left side. 1-1 delivery. Fastball spray down the left field line and slicing into the Saints bullpen, strike 2.
Late on the fastball again for the Foresters. They've really got to catch up to the velocity. They want to get some hits and drive in some runs.
Clark has brought home 2 so far this year through the first 3 games. 2 out, man at third. 1-2 pitch is a fastball lifted in the left, shallow left, and the Snyder, the left fielder, cannot get there. That ball will fall, and it's going to be a base hit in the left for Brenton Clark. And the Sturs take the first lead of the game, leading 1-0 in the first.
But I was just going to say that's exactly what Brenton Clark is trying to do. This is something he did especially well against the Barons, was drive the ball into opposite field. That's more of just a bloop single that falls into no man's land, but he's more than happy to sit late and just try and punch it where nobody's expecting the ball to go.
So 3 now brought in for Clark this season, and that's going to bring up Terrence Kill, the second, the newest addition to the Foresters lineup. Bats from the right side as the first pitch will miss away on a cutter. That is ball 1.
Yeah, Terrence Kill the second. This is a guy that I am really excited about for the Foresters. Was one of the best freshmen in the SEC this past season for Texas A&M.
The 1-0 pitch. Fastball away, trying to double up at first base, or say back pick on Clark. He scampers in safely on the throwdown from J.J. Kennett down to Levi Medella at first base. But it is 2-0 to Terrence Kill, who to that point was an SEC Freshman of the Week in early February. Playing for the A&M Aggies, 2-0 pitch. Fastball down, not even close, ball 3.
Of course, being from A&M, you know, if there's been any indication of how Aggies do with the Foresters, Sawyer Farr is a great example of that, currently hitting .500. Kill in his first at-bat right now. Good job with 2 outs.
Count 3-0. Runner will take off. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike. The throw down. It's going to be close, and they got him at second base. Brenton Clark caught stealing at second. That's going to end the inning. Clark brought home the first run of the game, and the Sturs lead 1-0 going to the bottom of the first with Bryce Navarre, the starter for the Sturs, out to the bump.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back in Pasadena at Jackie Robinson Field, Bryce Navarre, the lefty starter from Montgomery, Texas, out to the hill, who gets to start today for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, Navarre, this is his first day with the team, was introduced to everyone by Bill Pintard. He's one of a few Longhorns coming over from Austin to Santa Barbara. It's a common trend, guys from Texas doing well in Santa Barbara. And this is a guy I'm especially excited about, you know. Got a few different pitches he likes to work with, especially that four-seam fastball. Expect to see that a lot from him. Mostly worked as a reliever this past year for Texas, however. 6 appearances, 1-0 record. Especially had a great performance against UT Arlington, where he retired 7 of his first 8 batters faced in his lone win as a Longhorn.
And if you joined us at the top of the broadcast, first pitch was delayed due to an issue with second base, and now there's 3 members of the grounds crew here with Arroyo Seco completely surrounding second base with an issue with the bag. So Some extra warm-up pitches now for Bryce Navarre.
And you do have to wonder if that impacted, some of the stolen base attempts there, especially for Brenton Clark, who ended the top of the first inning on the stolen base attempt. Kind of an awkward slide. It was a good throw, to be fair, by the Saints catcher, Kennett, but definitely something to keep notice of as the game goes on. It's only the first inning, and they've already had to bring out the cart to reset it and kind of hose it down again.
And the defense today for Santa Barbara behind Bryce Navarre. Easton Mumon will be at third. Sawyer Farr back at short after being in left field in the last game. Easton Ruley will be at second. Caleb Hoover at first base. The catcher will be Grant Madrid Murray. In the outfield, Brenton Clark in left. Maddox Mandino in center, and Terrence Kill out in right.
Especially Sawyer Farr at short. That's definitely something to note, He's listed as an outfielder, but that's his preferred position. That's what he was recruited to play at Texas A&M, and that's what he's expected to do here. That's something that he can be expected to do here in Santa Barbara.
Coming to the plate, leadoff man for Arroyo Seco. The Sturs lead 1-0 to the top of the first. It's going to be Eli Lopez to bat from the right side. Sturs wearing their all gray, Seco in their blue tops and white bottoms. And here comes the first pitch from Navarre. It's going to miss down for ball one. Lopez on the year. In 417, he's gone 5 for 12. First three contests for Arroyo Seco. And the southpaw on the bump. The 1-0 pitch. He's going to skip in the second one. The fastball jacked right in front of home plate for ball two.
Navarre is going to be his first time pitching in a live game in a couple of weeks now. Season ended a little earlier, perhaps, than Texas would have liked in the regional.
He falls behind, but here comes the 2-0 pitch to Lopez. Fastball this time will miss inside, couldn't locate it, and he will fall 3-0 to Eli Lopez. And then will be Trotter Enright and Joey Milto scheduled for the Saints in the bottom of the first. Here comes a 3-0 offering to Lopez, and the fastball is going to miss upstairs. A leadoff walk on 4 pitches to Lopez.
Yeah, tough there for Navarre to give up his first batter faced a leadoff walk, but that's just sometimes how you got to start. Maybe you'd like a little bit of pressure with the guy on early. And Lopez, to be fair, not really a guy that you could expect to see going on stolen bases. 1 for 2 this past season at Cal State Fullerton.
Leadoff man aboard to bring up Trotter Enright. Bats from the left side, so a lefty-lefty matchup for the shortstop. Sturs by a run, bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. Fastball is going to miss low in the first 5, missing from Bryce Navarre. Just looking to settle in. Sturs brought home Maddox Mandino top half of this inning on a base hit by Brenton Clark. Look to first base. Where a runner is, the 1-0 is a sweeper in there for a strike. 1-1.
It's just sometimes what you need, just to know you can find the zone there on that pitch. Now let's see if he goes back to attack it on the 1-1.
A hold on the hill for the lefty starter. Look to first rather. 1-1 pitch is that sweeper again, missing down this time. 2-1.
Yeah, Navarre perhaps kind of using this summer to kind of figure out what pitches work for him, which don't. He told me he's got 6 different pitches he plans on using here. That time going with the sweeper, one of the ones that he said to me earlier, so shows that he kind of prefers it to some of his others.
Nobody out, man. At first, 2-1 pitch. Fastball missing inside. And a great effort from Grant Madrid Murray. Slid to his right to keep the runner at first at bay. And Grant, last played on the Conejo game 3 days back. And the Sturs won 14-5. But it was a leadoff walk to Lopez, and Trotter Enright ahead 3-1. Here's the pitch from Navarre. It's going to be a sweeper in there for a strike. Good delivery. Full count.
Way to find the zone there. So that you're not just handing out easy walks, so you're going to have to earn it here now with the 3-2.
Enright so far this season hitting .462. Man at first, nobody out. Sturs by a run. And the 3-2 pitch is a sweeper, but it's lined right back up the middle for a base hit into center. Lopez to second base, and Trotter Enright sends it right over the hill. Base hit into center to put 2 on, nobody out, bottom of the first.
Well, pieced ball into center field. Great contact from Enright, and that's just kind of what you expect. Hit 240 over at Long Beach State. Couple extra base hits as well, so clearly has some speed.
So 2 on, nobody out. Sturs leading by a run, bottom of the first, to bring up another lefty batter, Joey Milto. Only 8 ABs so far. He's gone 4 for 8. He's 8 ABs this season. Chance to bring in some runs. Look back to second for Navarre. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a sweeper away. Ball 1, and Navarre, the third straight batter, falling behind in the count early. Takes a moment, the batter steps back in. Some shadows creeping onto the infield from the oak trees and the surrounding stadium lights here at Jackie Robinson Field. Remember, the sun setting directly behind home plate. First and second, nobody out. Sturs by a run. Long look to second. 1-0 pitch is that sweeper, locates it 1-1.
It's done a good job finding the off-speed pitch in the zone, which is something that can be really handy. Now, can you locate it on the corners to really jam up the batters here?
Joey Milto, the right fielder, takes a moment, stands back in. American flag in center field, slowly drifting towards left center with a slight breeze slicing its way through the park. And now the 1-1 is fouled down the left field line and looping its way all the way down the road, which runs parallel here down the left field line. And, of course, we are adjacent to the Rose Bowl. Pretty cool sight rolling up. You have the massive Rose Bowl to your right.
It's hard not to be romantic about sports, Hunter.
First 2 men reaching base for the Saints. Santa Barbara lead by a run, bottom of the first. Nobody out. The infield playing a double play depth. This lefty-lefty matchup. Here comes the 1-2 delivery as Milto nearly is hit. Looked like the changeup from Navarre missing inside, 2-2.
But all he needs is just one of those off-speed pitches working, and he can be effective.
Sawyer Farr, the shortstop, slowly drifting his way behind second base, keeping tabs on the runner at second. Remember, the second baseman is Rulli today, and Hoover over at first base. 2 on, nobody out. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it misses inside. And 2 Saints between second and first base. They're caught in a pickle, and now between second and third base is the runner, and 2 players are back to second base. One of the runners retreats to first base. The throw to first base, and now running, caught in the bind. The runner between first and second now throw into third, and the merry-go-round we go. Got the runner between second and third, and finally slapping the tag. No on Sawyer Farr, and here comes Terrence Kill from the outfield, and finally Easton Mumma will get the out between second and third base. The carousel between second and first and second and third, but there's the first out with both runners were seemingly at second base and trying to get back to the respective bases.
Yeah, it just looked to be very routine. Lopez was just standing there on the base, and then you look over, and Trotter Enright is there all of a sudden. He made it all the way to second, and then that, of course, forces Lopez to go. It sends Enright back to be able to make it safe. And, yeah, just a merry-go-round pickle right there for the Saints.
Feel bad for the official score trying to get that numbering down. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and a swing and miss. Got him with the sweeper. Milto down on strikes, 2 gone in the first.
And that, to me, just felt like it threw off the rhythm of the Saints here. You know, they had runners on first and second, nobody out, and then some miscommunication on the base paths. Gets the lead man out, and then the next pitch, swing and miss, second out. Bryce Navarre feeling a lot better now than he did a pitch ago.
And that baseball probably progressed through 10 different people back and forth between the 2 runners, but that's going to bring up J.J. Kennett, bats from the right side. So here's the pitch. It's going to be a sweeper in there top of the zone for a strike. So after that carousel between first and second and third, Lopez was the first out of the inning. Enright is at second. 2 gone, the inning. Sturs leading by a run.
It was especially impressive to me that the Foresters were able to do that at this young point in the season where, like, they're still getting to know each other, still learning to play with each other.
It's the 0-1. It's going to miss down the dirt and good. Covered by Grant Madrid. Murray kept in front of him, rolled it back in front of the hill. I should say in front of the plate, keeping it on the infield. And you mentioned that, Nate. We saw Terrence Kill all the way in from right field, nearly made the tag at third base.
Bryce Navarro also hopping in as well. So just showing that baseball can be translated across the country at different levels.
Count now 1-1 for Kennett, the catcher today. He's gone 2 for 4 through the first 3 contests. Here's the pitch. Off speed is tapped just behind the plate. Remains 1-2.
You know, this is really showing how Navarre can be effective if he's able to find those off-speed pitches. He got ahead on the count crucially against this batter, and now he's ahead again, 1-2. Whole arsenal is at his disposal here.
Trying to get out of this inning unscathed, keeping it a 1-run Forster lead after letting the first 2 men reach base. Look to second, 1-2 pitch is the curveball and grounded outside of third. Remains 1-2, and I believe that's the first time Navarre's gone to the curveball today. The 6 pitches that we were informed of before the start of this contest that he might sprinkle in throughout his outing. And talking to pitching coach Scott Murray, capped around 50 pitches today with Andrew Gardino, the first man expected out of the bullpen today for the Sturs. 2 out man at second, and Navarre looking to keep it a 1-0 Stir lead. The 1-2 pitch, fastball in there, called strike 3, and J.J. Kennett goes down looking. Great work by Bryce after giving up first 2 men reaching base. Takes care of business as we go to the second. Sturs a lead 1-0.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back in Pasadena, California, Jackie Robinson Field, and the Santa Barbara Forsters leading 1-0 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. Terrence Kill II, Caleb Hoover, and Easton Ruley, 5-6-7, coming up for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, Kill did a good job of getting ahead in the count. Last time was 3-0 before Brenton Clark got caught stealing to end the top of the first. Now back up here, top of the second. And this is a guy, you know, as I said in the first, very excited about. Was a great freshman at A&M, an everyday starter pretty much. Hit around 300, did a good job with getting extra base hits as well. So this is someone who is kind of a standout guy. You know, that would be, I think a lot of, you know, opponents would be pretty scared of to face. And so this is his first time I really get to see him, and I'm really excited.
When you look at this lineup as a whole for the Sturs, I don't think any pitching staff with what the Santa Barbara Forsters have done so far would really want to be too thrilled about facing Santa Barbara at this point.
Not at all.
So it's going to be Kill. Bats from the right side. Infield straight away, as is the outfield. Shadows continue to get longer. Here's the pitch. Fastball is swinging a miss by Kill. Late on it. Strike 1. And Liam Thatcher again. The right-hander from Glendale CC that gets the start today in his first action of the season with the Arroyo Seco Saints. Here's the 0-1. There's another fastball and fouled up and out of the complex over our heads. That's strike 2. The Sturs 3-0 to start off their year. It's game 4 of 6 straight games on the road to start this season. The leadoff man Kill bats from the right side. The 0-2 pitch is a slider missing down and away. Ball 1.
Yeah, and I think another notable thing about Kill that I think would have stood out to Pintard especially was that he led Texas A&M in stolen bases this past year as well, so has some speed on the base paths if he can get on.
1-2 pitch now, Terrence. It's a fastball, and he will go down looking, locate on the outside edge, and Kill strikes out looking. His first AB, one out in the second. Santa Barbara does lead by a run. Mandino reached on an error to start off this ball game. It's brought in by Brenton Clark. Base hit into left. It's now going to bring up Caleb Hoover, who bats from the left side. Here comes the first pitch to Caleb. It's a fastball. He's late on it, strike one.
Caleb Hoover last game got his first hit of the season for the Stars. Hit it with some pop as well, a double.
And the entire team in the last game, on-base machine. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball, and reaching for it's off the end of the bat, into the backstop behind home plate. 0-2.
Yeah, Hoover was one of 3 Forester players actually to get their first hits of the season on Sunday, along with Vincent Gambardella and Liam Keefley.
And talking about on-base percentage, Sturs on-base percentage right now is .517. But now the 0-2 is an off-speed missing down to Caleb Hoover, ball 1.
But I like that from Thatcher. You have a couple pitches to give. Why not give him an off-speed in the dirt and see if he chases it?
By the way, that .517 OBP, first in the CCL through the first 3 games. 1-2 pitch now to Caleb. It's missing inside, fastball, ball 2. Sturs leading by a run. Top of 2. Base is clear, 1 out. The infield straightaway, as is the outfield for Arroyo Seco. And Thatcher, the first base side of the hill. 2-2 pitch to Hoover is a slow roller, chopped down the first baseline and rolls towards the first base on deck circle, where Easton Ruley currently stands. Means 2-2.
Way to just get some bat on that to not go down on strikes. If he didn't swing at that, that would have been a strike 3 looking.
Liam Thatcher from the belt on the hill for the Saints. The 2-2 delivery is hit well into right center field for Caleb Hoover. Back and gone deep over the right center field fence. The first home run of the year for Santa Barbara Foresters. And Santa Barbara now lead 2-0 in the second.
That is Caleb Hoover's scouting report to a T. Power hitting left-handed first baseman, goes over the right field wall. He came to the Foresters as the leader in home runs for the Grayson College Vikings at JUCO. He committed to South Carolina because of that pop, and he shows it there. First home run of the season, and I couldn't think of a better player for it to go to.
Second RBI of the year as well for Caleb to bring up Easton Ruley. 1 out, bases clear. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Oh, boy, he turned away from it, and it looks like it hit his left side of his helmet. He's okay. That ball was rising, and home plate umpire helps him down the first baseline, I should say, ushers him down the first baseline, and quickly turning away from it. It looks like it hit the chin guard on the left side, and he's going to call the trainer over, but Easton looks to be okay, and that was high and tight and hitting him on the helmet near that chin guard.
Yeah, that is something that is especially, taken so seriously in sports, or head injuries. Baseball, high heater to the helmet, and it's kind of pacing around, talking to the Saints trainer. Bill Pintard is out of a dugout talking, trying to get an explanation, and yeah, he'll be heading over to the dugout. Remains to be seen if he'll have to bring in a pinch runner.
Bill Pintard out of the first base dugout. Ruley was pretty quick to walk down that first base line. He tossed the helmet towards the dugout when he got to first base. Joey Holguin, first base coach, standing right next to first base. I have to imagine they are going to bring in a pinch runner. Easton's back to that first base dugout. Both trainers for the respective teams were right there next to him. But it is 2-0. Caleb Hoover right before Easton, first home run of the year for for the Sturs. And here comes Bill Pintard, slow saunter out of the first base dugout.
Should be noted as well that there's just kind of a gathering of Saints on around the pitcher's mound. You see a coach up there. You see the entire infield, the pitcher, catcher, just hanging back at home plate. Always just such a shock to just see something like that, a player get hit in the head with a fastball. It's a really scary sight. And granted, he did walk all the way to first base, but they're definitely taking a look at it. Glad to know it could have been worse, you know?
It was great to see Easton immediately start walking down first base. And now, when the coach is still continuing the conversation with the plate umpire, halfway down the third baseline, was at the hill, then drifted its way towards the third base line. Still no one out on first base for Santa Barbara.
And I just think, you know, partially that is just Liam Thatcher being rattled after giving up a home run. You know, he was feeling himself. He got the strikeout on Keel. And then Caleb Hoover comes to the plate and just sends one over a deep-ish, you know, right center field wall. And the next pitch, he just goes right after on the fastball that just gets away from him and gets Easton Ruley in the helmet. There's still nobody at first. Easton Ruley's dad, who was at the game, just walked down to the dugout. And there's another player at the mound for the Saints with Thatcher kind of consoling him, patting him on the back, letting him know it's okay. The second baseman for the Saints, Lopez, is just kind of taking a squat, looking over to the first base dugout.
We'll have to see if Easton will return.
And I believe that
Someone just got tossed from the Forster dugout. Our first base umpire, who was talking with Joey Holguin, was looking at first base and tossed somebody. And from where we're sitting, we're a little bit behind first base dugout, the first base dugout, and can't see anyone. Now Bill Pintard out of the first base dugout. And Bill Pintard signaling to someone to exit the dugout. We'll have to try and get confirmation. Again, we're not at the best vantage point to see into that first base dugout what exactly happened, but the first base umpire had heard enough of something and tossed someone. And now Bill Pintard putting his hands up in the air saying, what's going on?
I mean, I really feel like it's probably, we don't know what happened down, but I do feel like it is probably in poor distaste to toss somebody after a player gets hit in the head and could be concussed. I mean, that is an interesting decision to say the least, and I can see why Bill Pintard is so upset.
Still no one out of the first base.
Whether that's him saying, you know, oh, you have to pull Easton Ruley out of the game, or if it's a coach, a player for the Foresters, I do not know.
Now here comes Pintard to the plate umpire. And he's still making a gesture towards the dugout. And it looks like he's going to have to send someone off. Still, after Ruley got hit in the head, it looked like near the chin guard on his left side. He bats from the right side, so his left side exposed.
See Kaimi Kahalakai over there kind of standing in the direction where someone got a toss. Maybe it might have been him. He's taking off his hat and walking away, so maybe it's possible that it was the right-hander from Long Beach State that was the Forester who got tossed. Talking with Josh Heineman, who was behind home plate, taking note and score, and they'll be sending Easton Ruley back out. Oh my goodness.
So Ruley to first. after getting hit by a pitch
So, no, that is
in the
not
helmet.
Ruley. Excuse me. No, that is Ruley. That is
That is
Ruley.
Ruley.
Wow. Incredible.
So, after this delay, Thatcher remains on the hill throwing some warm-up pitches. Ruley to first base. And we'll try to get an update on what happened with and how Easton is doing, but he's going to stay in the ball game. And Liam Thatcher continue to throw up some warm-up pitches, and now the umpiring crew still having a conversation with Bill Pintard about what happened and what's going to continue to happen here in the second.
So a clarification on the ejection of Kaimi Kahalakai. So Kahalakai is good friends with the shortstop on the Saints, Trotter Enright. This was just told to me by Easton Rowley's father, who's obviously probably pretty relieved that his son is able to stay on the base paths. But Kaimi Kahalakai and Trotter Enright, good friends. They're very good friends with each other on the team. Ruley's good friends with Enright as well. And Kahalakai, as a joke, made a gesture towards Trotter Enright that the umpire, it was a joke, and the umpire just clearly did not get the joke. I mean, why would you if you saw someone make an inappropriate gesture like Kahalakai did and you didn't know that they were teammates in college, then you probably would eject them as well. So it's just a really unfortunate situation. I mean, to be fair, I don't think Kahalakai would have thrown today for the Foresters, as he did pitch 2 days ago. But just a really, I don't know if it's unfortunate. It's funny in a way almost, Hunter. I mean, just a really interesting situation here. And I think this kind of episode's probably gone on for the past 15 minutes, and we are finally going to get the next batter up.
So here's Grant Madrid Murray. Back to baseball, top of the second. A run in this inning. Easton Ruley got hit by a pitch in the helmet, and now the first pitch to Grant will be a slider away for ball one. So Ruley at first, 1 out in this inning. 2-0 the score for Santa Barbara. And the Gladiator Easton Ruley remaining in this game. Kaimi Kahalakai gets ejected on a friendly gesture to his old teammate. Here's the 1-1, fastball in there for a strike to even the count. She didn't say old teammate, but current teammate
you could
in
say
college.
It's friendly as well, but it doesn't look friendly to the untrained eye.
So here's Madrid Murray, who's gone 1 for 4 so far this season with the Sturs. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball, and a check swing will roll it foul. It's off the barrel and rolls towards the first base on deck circle. It's now 1-2.
And even then, Ruley, after being hit in the head, is still being aggressive on first base, still taking those extended leads. We know he likes to steal a base path for 2.
He's gone 4 for 5. There he goes. He takes off. The next pitch is low, sliding into second. He's in there safely, and the throws into center field, and Ruley motors his way all the way over, slides into head first, into third base, stolen bag, and advancing to third on an errant throw into center, and Ruley, after getting hit by a pitch, now at third.
Absolutely awesome stuff from Easton Ruley. I mean, gets hit by a pitch, but is still fearless. Dives into second head first, dives into third head first, and is 90 feet away from scoring.
1 out in the inning, Sturs lead 2-0. The 2-2 to Madrid Murray. There's a slider away, count full. To follow Grant will be Brady Dallimore at the 9 spot. A run in the first and a run in the second. How many can Santa Barbara push in? Payoff pitch to Madrid Murray, and it's going to be ball 4 away. Thatcher cannot locate, and 2 free passes given up by the starting right-hander for the Saints.
And just as you think Thatcher gets back into the rhythm, going ahead 1-2, 3 straight balls to put 2 on the corners with 1 out. Brady Dallimore to the plate here with some pop at his disposal.
Dallimore bats from the right side. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball on the ground, left side. It gets through for a base hit. Easton Rulli will score, and an RBI single for the DH. Dallimore Sturs lead 3-0 in the second.
Great piece of hitting there. It was a tight window to get through for that baseball, but Dallimore is able to locate it, gets between the shortstop and third baseman, gap into left field to score the third run of the ball game for Santa Barbara.
Now first and second, Madrid Murray down to second base. Dallimore at first, only a single out in this inning to bring up the top of the order, and Mandino bats from the left side. Here's the pitch. Fastball, he got knotted up. He's going to take a strike on the inner half. 0-1. Maddox first time up. Reached on E6 and scored the first run of this game. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss late on the fastball, strike 2.
Big hack there from Mandino, trying to locate it. Was just a little under it as well.
Madrid Murray at second. Dallimore at first, 2 runs in. 3-0 the score, top of 2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Maddox. Sees a fastball high and away. It's ball 1. After Mandino will be Sawyer Farr, the switch hitter. Against the starting right-hander. The next 4, I should say the next 3 to follow Mandino. Bat from the left side. With 1 out, 1-2 pitch is on the ground to the third baseman. He knocked it down, couldn't make a throw to first. Actually, he is slinging it over to first. Got a force out at third base rather. He touched his own bag. Tried to make a late throw over to first to get Mandino, but the throw was late. There's a force out at third for the second out, and Mandino will reach on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, I think that was a smart decision there by the Saints third baseman, Jacob Freer. You know, Mandino's got a lot of speed. Even if you are able to field that ball cleanly, it's going to be tough to turn 2 on there. Just get the lead runner out at third.
Dallimore to second. Mandino aboard, 2 out in the inning, 2 runs in. Here's the first pitch to Sawyer Farr. High fastball in there for a strike. 0-1.
Farr last time out struck out the Thatcher.
Infield straight away, the center fielder Williams shaded a fraction towards right center. The 0-1 is a slider in there for a strike. Just at the knees for strike 2 on Sawyer. These two teams have had the extremely fast start this season offensively. The 0-2 to Sawyer Farr is high and away. It's ball 1. Santa Barbara, through the first 3 games, averaging 13 runs a contest. They already have 3, just 2 out in the top of the second. In this inning, seems like a while ago, Caleb Hoover had a 1-out solo shot home run over right center field. Now the 1-2 pitch to Farr is a fastball, swing and a miss. Late on the fastball, and Farr down on strikes for the second time this ball game. But what an eventful second inning. Caleb Hoover, first home run for the Sturs. Rulli gets hit, scores a run, and Santa Barbara going to the bottom of 2, lead 3-0 over Arroyo Seco. Welcome back to Jackie Robinson Field, just across the street from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. Going to the bottom of the second, Sturs leading 3-0 over Arroyo Seco as Jacob Freer, Jack Little, and Gannon Snyder will be coming up as Bryce Navarre had quite a long wait in that first base dugout with everything that happened top half of this inning. Here's the pitch. First pitch is in there on a fastball, high in the zone for a strike on this lefty-lefty matchup.
I think the main thing to take away from that top half of the inning, Easton Rulei's okay. We got our first home run of the season from Santa Barbara.
The 0-1 is a slider. Now we'll skip in for ball one. Yes, the quick synopsis. First home run of the year. Ruley hit by a pitch. Okay. 2 runs in.
Because of Rulei's gutsiness on the base paths as well. Stole second base and got the third on a bad throw from the outfield.
So here comes the 1-1 pitch to the leadoff man for Arroyo Seco. The pitch is that sweeper missing away at belt height for ball 2.
Unlucky. Looked to be a good pitch. Just a little too outside and couldn't get the swing in from Freer.
3-0 the lead for Santa Barbara. 2-1 offering is the sweeper, swing and a miss, 2-2.
Yeah, the off speed really working here for Navarre. He's either locating it in the zone and just getting them looking or having them chase out of his zone.
Working from the middle of the hill. 2-2 pitch to the leadoff man. Swing and a miss. Looks like the cutter that time from Navarre, and 3 straight strikeouts going back to the first for Bryce.
Kind of reminds me of the other lefty we saw start a game for Santa Barbara. His start, Hudson Barrett, struggled against the first couple batters, but then locked in, struck out a couple in a row. That's exactly what Bryce Navarre has done here for Santa Barbara.
1 down, base is clear. Here's the pitch to Jack Little. It's going to be a fastball missing away for ball 1. Navarre in his time with Texas going 6 2/3 through the regular year. Struck out 6 in his outings with the Longhorns. He already has 3 here today. 1-0 pitch is a fastball missing high. It's ball 2. For Jack Little, batting at the 6th hole. The DH today, hitting .538, 7 for 13. The first 3 games for Arroyo Seco. Sturs lead 3-0 with 1 out. Bases clear. Here comes a 2-0 pitch to the DH. It's a fastball. This time straight down the middle, 2-1.
And not only hitting the ball well, but hitting it with some power. Top 3 in the league in average, just a tick below 850 in slugging, excuse me.
And Arroyo leading both slugging and average right now as a 2-1 will skip in on a breaking ball from Navarre for ball 3. We highlighted at the top of the broadcast in terms of average and slugging through the first 3 games, Arroyo Seco, number 1 in that category, and Santa Barbara, number 2. 2 teams with a very fast start to this season. Infield straight away, 1 out. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Little, and it's in there on the sweeper, full count.
Way to bounce back in this AB from Navarre. He got behind early, but fought back to get it back up to full. Great stuff from the lefty.
Longer hold on the hill for Bryce. The shadows extending longer here at Jackie Robinson Field. And he's now going to step off on the same page with his catcher, Madrid Murray. Not too much wind to speak of. The American flag straight away, which actually the flagpole's in center field. It's not on the outside of the outfield fence, but now the 3-2 pitch is flared up and behind home plate into the screen. Remains 3-2, and it's not too often you actually see the American flag pull.
I was just going to say I did not notice
in the field of play
now. This is an old stadium. It's been here for over 100 years. That is a relic of the past, I would say.
3-2 pitch is going to miss away. Looked like the changeup from Navarre got away from him, missing away at belt height, and Jack Little, a 1-out base on balls to reach base.
Yeah, of course, and that's just something that kind of comes with throwing so many pitches that kind of look like fastballs and then kind of drop. Sometimes they get away from you and then just hang up in the zone. That's exactly what happened there for Bryce Navarre.
Second walk given up today by Navarre. He's going to face Gannon Snyder. Bats from the right side. Little at first, 1 out. Santa Barbara lead 3-0. Bottom of 2. Here's the pitch. It's going to go in and out of the glove of Grant Madrid Murray and down to second base will go Jack Little. likely on a pass ball. That pitch was missing high and just popped out of the glove of Grant and went probably a third of the way down first base, giving some room for Little to get to second.
Still, I think that's got to be fielded by Madrid Murray. At least make a play at the plate.
Little down to second, 1 out. 2 runs at the top of the inning for Santa Barbara. They lead 3-0. Snyder, who bats out of the 7th spot, sees the 1-0 pitch. Fastball missing away. That is ball 2. Remember, we were told Navarre going about 50 pitches in his start today. Andrew Gardino would be the first man out of the bullpen for Scott Murray, the pitching coach, under Bill Pintard. Here's the 2-0. Is the sweeper missing down and in. Ball 3.
It was a really nice pitch. Got good movement on it, but just couldn't generate the swing and miss.
After the walk to Little, prior to that, 3 straight strikeouts going back to the first inning. 3-0 pitch, as Snyder's going to see a fastball away. 4-pitch walk and back-to-back walks given up by Bryce to put first and second, 1 out in the second for the Saints.
I don't think Snyder was expecting to get called the ball 4 there, but just missed the zone to bring up Levi Modella.
Modella hitting 400 through the first 3 games, with the Saints going 2-1 the first 3 contests, and actually lost the opening day game to the San Diego Waves, and a new affiliate in the CCL South. Currently find themselves at 1-1 through the first week. Here comes the first pitch as Modella will see the sweeper missing inside, ball 1. So first and second for the Saints. It's a 3-run ball game, bottom of 2. And just a single out. Modella takes first pitch ball. Bats from the left side. It's a lefty-lefty matchup for Navarre and Modella. We'll look back to second for the starter. 1-0 pitch. Fastball just clipping the outside edge. 1-1.
Yeah, it's really tough for Navarre here, coming in after such a long top of the second. He was sitting down for a long time in that dugout. Arm getting a little cold, trying to find his location again.
Look to second where Jack Little is. 1-1 pitch. Just going to miss. Like the cutter couldn't locate low. It's ball 2. We did see Gambardella, one of the catchers for Santa Barbara, trot out of the first base dugout down in the bullpen, which is located quite a ways away from the actual first base dugout. Probably 60 yards in a grass patch down the right field line away from the dugout. First and second, 1 out. 2-1 pitch is chopped to the first baseman. Might be 2. They go to second base. Back to first base. Oh, yes. They got him. 3-6-3 on the double play. Fantastic work by Caleb Hoover and Sawyer Farr to turn 2. Hoover fielded that at first base, able to sling it over to Farr and got back to first base to turn the double play. Great work by the infield. And they work around the 2 walks in the inning. Going into the third, Santa Barbara leading 3-0 over Arroyo Seco. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Back right across the street from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. The Stars lead 3-0 going to the third. Easton Muma, Brenton Clark, Terrence Kill coming to the plate, and they're going to face a new arm, the lefty, Chris Hernandez-Videz, now on the hill.
Yeah, his first appearance for the Saints. Plays his college ball at Azusa Pacific. Very experienced pitcher.
Lefty-lefty matchup to start. The first pitch is a fastball skipping right in front of the plate against Muma for ball one. Easton today is 0 for 1, a line out to short in the first inning. 1 run in the opening frame, 2 in the last for Santa Barbara. Here's the 1-0, and the fastball's going to miss down, ball 2. Both of them in the dirt on the first pitches from Hernandez-Videz.
If you can get on here, very possible you advanced on some wild pitches.
It's going to be 3-4-5 for the Stars. Game 4 of 6 on the road starting off this 2025 season. The pitch and fastball located on the outer half for a strike at belt height for Easton Muma, 2-1. All 3 pitches so far fastballs, and you definitely feel like the velo's up for Hernandez-Videz compared to Thatcher. 2-1. Fastball foul back directly behind home plate into the screen, 2-2.
And even then, you know, the Foresters are struggling a bit with the velocity of Thatcher, so let's see how they handle guy with a little bit more velo, also pitching for them from the left-hand side.
Here comes a 2-2 to the leadoff man. Fastball's up towards the middle. Long run for the shortstop and right, who fields it behind second base, and a big stretch by the first baseman. And the throw in time. Levi Medella using all of his frame at first base to keep that back foot on the bag after the shortstop and right fielded that ball behind second base. Great play by the infield.
Great play. Trotter Enright had to get that one there in a hurry. Did so. And just a great extension by Levi Medella to bring it in for the out.
Muma retired. That's going to bring up Brenton Clark. Base is clear. The first pitch. Fastball missing in. Another lefty-lefty matchup with Muma, the lefty, Brenton Clark from the left side, and then Terrence Kill, a righty, scheduled in this inning. Stars lead 3-0, top 3. 1-0. Another fastball misses high. Ball 2. A lot of heaters for Hernandez-Videz to start off his outing after Liam Thatcher went 2. Man who got the start today for the Saints. 2-0 offering. Fastball down the middle. Strike 1.
Hernandez-Videz, very similar to his last at bat, got behind 2-0, but attacks his own to get back in there. 2-1.
Here's the pitch. Squaring around to bunt is Clark. Pulls it back as that fastball was in. Takes the bucket off for a second. Helmet back on the head, and it's now 3-1 to Clark. 1 out and the base is clear. And the shadows continuing to get longer on the entire left side of the park. Nearly in shadows now. 3-1. And missing low for ball 4. Brenton Clark able to work a 1-out walk, and he's aboard for the second time today after having an RBI single in the first. Now at first on a walk.
Great job working the walk right there, you know. Kind of had this feeling maybe Hernandez-Videz was going to come back at him there, but he holds strong. Great vision from the rising sophomore at Arkansas.
That's going to bring up Terrence Kill. Here's the pitch. Fastball will miss into the right-handed batter of Terrence. Strike ball 1, rather. This Kill went down looking in the last inning. Man hails from Atlanta, Georgia. Just played his freshman year with A&M. Graduated from Pace Academy High School. Check to the man at first base. Clark in. No problem.
Very similar to the top of the first where Clark was on first kill up to bat. Clark got caught stealing in second on a 3-0 pitch.
Here's the 1-0, a hopper towards the shortstop to flex off his glove into left field. And Terrence Kill aboard for the first time this season as that ball was hit sharply to Trotter Enright to flex off his glove off one hop. And as a result, Kill aboard.
I think you have to call that a base hit just off of the velocity that Kill got on that bat there. Absolutely killed that baseball to get it past the shortstop.
And the official scoreboard in the stadium, where the official scorer is here for Jackie Robinson Field, does not have the hits or errors on the board, just runs, balls and strikes and outs. But that was hit so hard, you got to think that's a base hit for Kill. Now the first pitch to Hoover, big swing, just taps off the barrel behind home plate for strike one. Remember, Caleb Hoover with one out in the second. A deep shot in right center, the first home run for Forster this year. That ball, there's a screen that goes around the outfield from right field to center field. That's probably extended 70 feet in the air. That ball was halfway up that screen. The 1-0 is a fastball missing down for ball one. 1-1.
A little bit of hesitancy to throw it over to first there from J.J. Kinnett. Tried to get Kill on the backstop, but was unable to and just held on to the ball. Probably the smart decision as some of his throws have been getting away from him.
Clark at second. Kill at first. One out. Sturz leading 3-0. Hernandez Vides, the 1-1 pitch to Hoover is spoiled over the third base dugout and into the road, which runs parallel to Jackie Robinson Field. Strike two on Caleb. Now after Hoover, Easton Ruley, the man who was the story of the last inning, getting hit by a pitch in the head, turned away from it, looked like on the chin guard, extending left-hand side. But now the 1-2, swing and a miss on the slider. Hoover went around, couldn't lay off of it. He is down on strikes, 2 gone in the third.
Was looking like he was ready to kind of pull that one back and hold on to the bat, but instead just swings all the way through. Hoover wanted to get his second home run and back-to-back ABs, but just a little too below the plate.
First and second, 2 gone. Sturz lead 3-0 over the Saints, and the batter's now Ruley. Here's the pitch. Big swing, Ruley corkscrewed his way out of the base, out of the box, the opposite batter's box, trying to catch up to that fastball, 0-1. Big swing from Easton, who was hit by that pitch in the head, comes around to score in the last inning, the third run of the game. Runners look like they might take off, but the pitch is another fastball, swing and a miss for Ruley, 0-2.
It must be so tough to step back into the batter's box, knowing what happened to you last time. You know, the last time that you stood in that position, you got hit by a fastball. I mean, maybe he doesn't even remember it, but I mean, really, really tough to do.
0-2, well away. Great effort from J.J. Kennett. This catcher sliding on the pads to his right. Keep the runners at bay at first and second. Ruley, after he was hit, stolen bag and advanced to third on an error. Before he was brought home by Dallimore, who stands on deck. With 2 out, Sturz by 3. 1-2 pitch. Just foul back. Looked like the slider that time from Hernandez Vides. Good battle now for Easton after falling behind.
Just a little too under that one. Looked like he had the slider timed up and was ready to send that on a line down the left field side.
First and second, 2 down. Look to second base. There go the runners, but swing and a miss on the fastball on the 1-2 pitch, and Ruley down on strikes. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Chris Hernandez Vides. And we go to the bottom of the inning. Santa Barbara lead 3-0 over Arroyo Seco.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569 line 1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the third inning, the Foresters lead 3-0 over the Saints. Jackie Robinson Field on a nice Tuesday evening from Pasadena, just approaching 7:30 local time. Thanks for joining us wherever you are on the Forster Radio Network. Bryce Navarre, the starter lefty, remains on the hill. He's going to face 9-1-2. Noah Williams, Eli Lopez, and Trotter Enright scheduled for Arroyo. Noah Williams gone 2 for 8 so far this season, hitting .250.
Yeah, Noah Williams, really interesting guy. Played professional baseball, actually. Made it up to the high A Atlanta Braves organization before being cut. Ended up committing to Colorado State Pueblo.
First pitch, and it's going to hit the left side of Noah Williams. That ball was heat-seeking towards the ankles, tried to scamper his way over the top of it, and ends up hitting him on the left side. And the first man, the leadoff man, is aboard, hit by a pitch. And this hit by a pitch brought to us by our friends at Alta Orthopedics.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
Williams aboard, and that's going to bring around Eli Lopez back to the top of the order, and Bryce Navarre has to work around leadoff man aboard. Here's the pitch. Is the sweeper in there for a strike? 0-1.
Yeah, really tough for Navarre to just on one pitch get the runner on, but comes back, attacks the zone. I mean, no fear.
There goes the runners. The 0-1 will skip in low. No chance from Madrid Murray as that ball skipped in front of the plate. It's going to be a stolen bag for Williams. Wasn't even a clean transfer from Madrid Murray. Couldn't field it cleanly on the errant pitch, but should go down as a stolen bag for Williams, who has already taken off. So now it's second. Nobody out. Sturs lead by 3. It's now 1-1 to Lopez. Here's the pitch. Is the sweeper missing down and away, ball 2. You do hear man warming up in the bullpen for the Sturs down the right field line. You were told Gardena would be the first man out. 2-1 pitch. Fastball missing away. Good read from Madrid Murray sliding to his right. 3-1.
Yeah, Lopez, dangerous hitter, as we know. Got it done with CSU Fullerton's been getting it done with the Saints. There's a reason why he's batting leadoff.
He was walked first time up, then was thrown out. And that debacle between second and third, between the two runners. But now the 3-1 is a sweeper missing inside. The runner takes off for third base. Got a chance, but in safely is Noah Williams. Aggressive base running. That ball was slightly down Madrid Murray. Great throw down, but a fantastic jump for Noah Williams to get to third.
That came just a second too late. He saw him running and just kind of hesitated almost. And instead throws it in a little later than he should have. Really tough for Madrid Murray there. You don't expect him to run, but that ball went into the dirt. You had to block it. You have to be ready for Noah Williams to advance.
Madrid Murray did well to block it. Just there looked like Williams took off a fraction from second base, and just that little bit, that ball being down, Madrid Murray covering it. Even with the best of throws, looked like Williams would have been safe. The leadoff man is at third. Nobody out. Here comes the next pitch, and that is down to Trotter Enright, with Eli Lopez being able to reach base on balls after Williams was taking off. who got to first, and then Lopez just took off to get to second base. So now 2 in scoring position after the walk to Lopez, and Trotter Enright, his first pitch was down for a ball. Now the 1-0 pitch to Enright. Sweeper missing away. That is ball 2.
Really tough position to be in there for Madrid Murray on the previous pitch, Runner takes off to second, but you kind of just have to hold on to it, otherwise the run's going to come across the plate.
So second and third, nobody out. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Enright. The off speed will miss inside for ball 3, and Enright, who's already 1 for 1 today, is ahead 3-0 with the first 2 men reaching base in the bottom of the third. Enright does represent the tying run. Granted, we are just in the bottom of the third frame. 3-0 pitch. Fastball not competitive, misses inside. A 4-pitch walk to Trotter Enright. So a hit batter, a walk to Lopez, and then Enright works a walk to load up the bases, nobody out. And Bill Pintard coming out of first base. This looks like it'll be it for Bryce Navarre. His first appearance with the Sturs. We'd expect Andrew Gardino to be the man coming in out of the right field bullpen.
Yeah, I think Navarro's just been struggling a lot with his command here. He's done a good job at getting swings and misses, but he's had a hard time, especially with that fastball. Rich really needs to be the main one that's working for you. Be able to establish the off speeds. And he's done a good locating on a lot of those off-speed pitches. It's just that fastball has been all over the place. That's the reason why the bases are loaded right now. It's the hit by pitch on Williams, and then it's back-to-back walks to the other guys.
Bill Pintard, long chat with the starter in the infield.
I don't think he's going to get pulled here. I think it's just, kind of a settle back in sort of talk. Just know, hey, you got guys on, but, you're just a double play ball away from getting 2 outs. Of course, a run will probably come across the plate in that situation, but by then, all it takes is 1 pitch and you're out of the inning. So it's just been really, a lot's got to be going through your head. And yeah, the home plate, I'm telling him to hurry up. The talk, Bill Pintard heading back to his dugout. No one trusts in the new guy. Bryce Navarre, pressure on with bases loaded, nobody out.
In terms of pitching, you stated Gardino, Tag Andrews, and then Darren Orlando would be the 3 in order out of the bullpen, all right-handers. Navarre does throw from the left side. Bases loaded with the Saints. Tying run at first base. Here's the first pitch now on Milto. It's a sweeper in there for a strike, and well done from Bryce for a first pitch strike.
Big cheer from the Sturs dugout as well.
Milto has gone 0 for 1. He's K'd back in the first. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball down and away, 1-1.
Definitely doing a better job of kind of keeping these pitches under control.
Milto takes a moment, who bats from the left side. Lefty-lefty matchup. Third baseman Muma is pinched in a fraction. Here's the pitch. As the 1-1 off speed is down. Throw down to third base from Grant Madrid Murray, but scampering back, no problem, is Noah Williams to third base, and Muma wasn't even close to holding on to the runner. It is 2-1 for Milto. J.J. Kennett, number 4 batter next. Here's the pitch. Check swing, but called strike, 2-2. That last one, the cutter from Navarre. Just looking for a major first out if he's able to K Milto with the bases loaded. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Milto chasing the sweeper and a massive first out for Navarre.
Massive first out indeed, Hunter. That was just a beautiful off-speed pitch outside of his own. Gets the 3-0 hitter on back-to-back strikes, first in the first, now in the third. Clearly having Milto's number.
Bases remain loaded, but now 1 out. Sturs by 3 runs. Here's the first pitch to Kennett. Check swing. Did he go on the appeal down the first base umpire? No. So it's ball 1, able to lay off the sweeper. And note the first baseman, Caleb Hoover, is playing on the infield grass, not holding on to the runner at first. Watching for any bunts down that first base line. 1-0 pitch. Skips in under the legs of Grant Madrid Murray. Runner comes from third, and no throw down either to third base or at the plate. And Noah Williams will score the first run of the day from third base for Arroyo Seco. 2 other runners advance, and it's now 3-1. Stir lead down to 2.
Navarre's got to be quicker to the plate. I don't know if he was going to make a play there with Williams coming in so fast, but you still have to be there. At least try and get the throw to him and make the tag.
So the wild pitch scores the first run for Arroyo. Here's the 2-0 now to Kennett. Swing and a miss. Late on the fastball, 2-1. So base hit looked to tie the game for the Saints, and that wild pitch also eliminates the double play. First base now open. And Hoover back in the middle of the infield dirt, the first baseman. 2-1 pitch. Fastball skips in. Madrid Murray takes it off the chest. Keeps it in front of him. It's ball 3.
That time, Navarre a lot quicker off the mound. Good job by Madrid Murray blocking that ball.
Kennett struck out looking against Bryce back in the first. 0 for 1. A run in for Arroyo Seco. 3-1 pitch. As it's going to miss away, ball 4. Looked like the changeup from Navarre missing away to the right-handed batter to load up the bases. Third walk of the inning worked by Arroyo Seco. And here comes Bill Pintar, and that's going to be it for Bryce Navarre. The bases are going to be loaded, 1 out. 3-1 the score, and Bill Pintard, the longtime manager for the Santa Barbara Foresters, now in his 31st year as the manager, will take the baseball from Bryce, and they're going to the bullpen, and it looks like Gardino will be trotting in. Will step aside. 3-1 ball game. Sturs on top.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back at Jackie Robinson Field from Pasadena, California. Bryce Navarre, the starter for the Sturs, going 2 1/3, and enter the right-hander Andrew Gardino, making his first appearance for the Sturs.
Yeah, tough situation to come into for your very first appearance of the summer, but Andrew Gardino, tall righty, 6'4", 185. Just had a couple of stops in his collegiate baseball journey, currently at Abilene Christian.
3-1 the score. 1 run in this inning for the Saints. Sturs leading 3-1. Base is loaded, and the batter be Jacob Freer, number 5 hitter for Arroyo Seco. Bats from the left side. Big spot in this ball game for Santa Barbara. Here's the pitch, and the fastball missing well high. Good read by Madrid Murray. High and away for ball 1.
Definitely a lot more velo than what the Saints were seeing with Navarre.
Freer 0 for 1. He K'd in the last inning against Bryce Navarre. The base is loaded, looking for a ground ball with 1 out. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Freer. Swing and a miss. Just tapped it, fouled on the third base line. That is strike 1.
And Gardino kind of, very weird pitching style here. He has a massive leg kick out and generates just a ton of velocity. This is some of the higher velos we've seen from a Foresters pitcher this season.
Hold on the hill for Gardino. 1-1 pitch is a slider in there for a strike. 1-2.
Really nice breaking ball to find the zone there. Completely had the batter free or stumped.
Lopez at third. Enright second. Kennett first. 3-1 the score. 1 run in this inning for the Saints. Gardino trying to get on the same page with Madrid Murray. Time being called.
That's the thing, trying to throw off the batter as well. Take a little longer in his motion.
Arroyo, Seco have won their last 2 games to serve, have won their first 3 games of this year. 1-2 pitch. Fastball well away. 2-2. Hoover just a few paces to the left of first base. First baseman for the Sturs, Easton Mumau. The rest of the infield playing at double play depth. 1 out, 1 run in for the Saints. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and just fouled back behind home plate. Gardino took a little off the fastball. It's 2-2 it remains.
Just felt like it could have been the strikeout that he was looking for to get the second out of the inning.
And the sun setting behind home plate. The entire field now in shadows. No more sunlight here at Jackie Robinson Field. 2-2. Fastball is spoiled down the left field line and over the third base dugout. It's out of play. Remains 2-2.
Second game, the Foresters have played under the lights. First one opening day against OC, and the bats struggled a bit in the dark. I think they got a couple of runs on the board before the sun set.
Base is still loaded, only a single out. 2-2 pitch is a fastball, spoiled again. Carved out in the left field line, well out of play. And the street that runs parallel to the left field line. You have some grass fields right across the street from Jackie Robinson Field, which set the stage for the massive Rose Bowl, which will be hosting a number of soccer matches coming up in the next couple days and the next couple weeks. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that will miss high and away. Full count, nowhere to put him.
Unlucky for Freer. That was a very well-located fastball.
Bases loaded, only a single out. 3-1 Santa Barbara lead. Gardino from the middle of the hill. Rocks back and forth a fraction. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Massive second out for Andrew Gardino.
Massive is an understatement. That is a crucial out, I would argue. Bases loaded, 1 out. You come on in, your first batter face. You get ahead in the count, and then he comes back at you. He was able to manage a couple of balls. And you get him, he fouls off a couple of your pitches, but then you get him swinging strike 3. That's a confidence booster for Andrew Gardino.
There's the high fastball to get Freer to bring up Jack Little. Now a ground ball to end the inning for Santa Barbara. 3-1 the score. Bases remain loaded. The pitch is a slider for a strike. 0-1.
You gotta love attacking the zone. Even with the off speed, it's still so nice for you as the pitcher to get ahead 0-1.
Little first time up, granted, against Navarre. Worked a walk, advanced to second, and passed ball. Infield playing at double play depth. The 0-1, fastball right past Jack Little, right down the middle, 0-2.
And definitely sped it up on him that time. You start off with the breaking ball. Kind of has his velo, his thinking, slower pitch maybe, but then you go at him with the gas, get him swinging. Now you're ahead 0 until the whole arsenal is at the disposal.
3-1's the scoreline. 1 run in this inning for Arroyo. Bases loaded, 2 out, 0-2 pitch. Fastball just missed high.
Good take by Jack Little.
And the DH today for the Saints. And in this lineup, him and Enright, the most ABs of anyone in this lineup for the Saints. These are the two top offenses to the first 3 games playing tonight. 1-2 pitch is the slider lifted down the right field line and slices out of play. In the grass field, which runs adjacent down the right field line. That's also where the Santa Barbara bullpen is located. A little bit of an interesting layout here. Jackie Robinson Field.
I believe one of the only fields we're going to go to this summer where the bullpen is not on the field itself.
Just about 60 yards away from the end of the first base dugout. Back to Jack Little. It's 1-2. Here's the pitch. High fastball, 2-2.
Interesting about Jack Little, plays baseball at Baylor. He's the second ever person named Jack Little to play baseball at Baylor.
And Jack Little looking to do something in the third to tie up the game with a base hit. Bases loaded. 2 out, 2-2 pitch. Missing high. Gardino thought he had called strike 3, was walking towards the first base dugout. Instead, the count is full. Everyone will be on the move against the number 6 batter, Little. And Gardino, who entered in this inning, 1 out and the bases loaded, struck out the first man he faced. The count was 3-2. What will he go to here? With 2 out, here comes the 3-2 pitch to Little. Down the right field line, foul, and slicing well foul. That was slicing probably 100 yards, maybe not 100 yards, but 50 yards to our right.
Settle down, Hunter. Jeez.
100 yards doesn't seem as far as it could be, but sliced quite a ways away over the first base dugout. But can Gardino get out of this inning? 3-2 pitch, lifted into over the first base dugout. Looked like he might have been drifting into right field, but out of play.
He's really late on these fastballs, and if he's not able to speed up to them, you might as well just stick with the heater. Of course, if he swings early here, that's when you kind of think maybe I go to the breaking ball if you're Gardino.
Santa Barbara leading 3-1, but the bases loaded, 2 gone. Another 3-2 pitch popped up and behind home plate. What a battle here between Little and Gardino, not making it easy for the reliever.
That one definitely a little earlier, that swing.
Remember, Gardino thought he had called strike 3 on the 2-2 pitch. And the last 3 pitches, all with a full count. Little saws him off. Lopez at third, Enright second, Kennett at first. Gardino from the middle of the hill looks to second. And he's going to step off, call time.
It's just so frustrating as the pitcher to see, you're in a 3-2 count. You just know, I want to get out of this. I want to get out of this bases loaded, 2-out jam. All I need is 1 pitch. The guy just keeps fouling them off. I mean, it is so annoying if you're Andrew Gardino.
What's Gardino going to here? 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball lifted in a short right. Hoover from first base will drift back and will make the catch right on the chalk line between the infield grass, infield dirt, and the outfield grass to get out of the jam. Gardino enters with 1 out, bases loaded, retires 2, and limits the damage to just a single run. Fantastic work from Andrew. As we head to the 4th, Santa Barbara leading 3-1 over the Saints. Back in Pasadena, and here comes the first pitch to Grant Madrid Murray. It's going to be 8-9-1 scheduled for the Sturs. It's going to miss inside on a fastball with Hernandez Vides remaining on the hill, the lefty reliever for the Saints. 3-1 the score, with Madrid Murray standing in for the second time. The 1-0 is a fastball foul back and gets lodged into the fence just on the near the first base side on deck circle and gets lodged up there.
Yeah, it's just decided I don't want to fall down back to the grass. I'll stay hanging on the fence.
So Madrid Murray, Dallimore, and then Mandino. Top of the fourth inning, Santa Barbara by 2. 1-1 pitch is a fastball lifted down the right field line and slices foul in that grass complex to the right of the right field line. Strike 2 on Grant.
That one got out of there in a little bit more of a hurry than the previous ball.
Stadium lights flicked on. 5 minutes to 8 o'clock local time sunset here in Pasadena, slated for 8:04. 1-2 pitch is a fastball up the middle, and it will get past the shortstop, Madrid Murray. A leadoff single in the fourth.
Great piece of hitting there by Madrid Murray. Just drive it past the shortstop, get on base. That's how the Foresters like to start their innings, Hunter.
Indeed, with Madrid Murray working to walk in the second inning. To bring up Brady Dallimore, who has an RBI single today and left. Ended up scoring Easton Ruley back in the second inning. That was the third run of the game. Now the pitch is a fastball missing in from the lefty relief pitcher. Ball 1. Fourth game being played for both these teams today. The Sturs, the only undefeated team left in the CCL through the first 3. 1-0 pitch is missing inside. Another fastball, 2-0.
Dallimore 1 for 1 today. Got, he's a big guy, 6'4", 230. He's got a lot of pop on that bat. Looking to send it over the left field wall.
So 2-1, he's going to take a low fastball. It's going to be strike 1 on Brady. Picked up his third hit of the year back in the second. Going to throw over to the man at first base. Sliding in head first is Madrid Murray. One thing Santa Barbara has done so well since the team just got together a few days ago is a 2-1 pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 2. Hernandez Vides blazes the fastball past Dallimore to even the count at 2. You can really feel the chemistry on this team on the bus ride back home to Santa Barbara after their game on Sunday, the MLB Academy. You can just tell how tight these guys are. Here's the 2-2. Fastball is up the middle to the shortstop, a chance for 2, and he can't make the play to the second baseman and flip it. And as a result, Dallimore is aboard. Ranging to his left was Enright, the shortstop. Got the ball relatively behind second base, tried to make a glove flip, but just didn't flip it the correct direction. And as a result, Dallimore is aboard and Madrid Murray to second.
It's a tough play to make. It's a risky play to make. I think in that situation, you just have to go for the easy out. Even then, Madrid Murray had a pretty extended lead at first. I felt like it still would have been a play at the base. Just go for the easy out at first and get 1 out. Instead, it's 2 on, nobody out with the top of the order up.
Lefty-lefty matchup as Mandino squares around to bunt, pulls it back as the fastball misses low. Maddox today, 0 for 2. Did reach on an error, scored a run, then ground into a fielder's choice. First and second, nobody out. Santa Barbara lead 3-1. 1-0 pitch. Maddox squares around, pops up down the third baseline, and pops its way out of play and rolls towards the third base dugout where the Saints are housed. It's now 1-1.
Mandino, he can lay down a really good bunt, I have to tell you. I mean, and the good thing about him is with his speed, it can be an even average bunt, and he can still beat the throw to first. He's got just so much speed at his disposal.
We try to lay it down here. It's 1-1. Tell the surroundings getting a little bit darker. Max does square around, pulls it back, and he sees the ball into the glove of the catcher with the fastball missing and away for ball 2.
It's definitely something that can get in the head of the pitcher. Maybe you're just like, okay, well, if he's going to lay down a bunt, I should give him something to bunt. We can get the easy out. That's when Maddox takes advantage and sends it into the outfield.
2-1 pitch. Mandino squares around to bunt, but again, watches that baseball all the way into the catcher's glove. He squats down, squares to bunt, and then pulls it back and watches that ball into the glove. Another spit on the fastball. It's ball 3. It's 3-1 for Mandino. Farr will be next, the switch hitter. The southpaw reliever, Hernandez Videz. First and second, nobody out. Squaring again is Mandino. Bunt down the third base line. The third baseman charges. The throw was in time. You saw the speed from Mandino, but a good throw from Jacob Freer. But the sacrifice complete. Runners advance.
And it was a very, very close play at first. Mandino just a couple milliseconds in there too late. Really good bunt, does the job, advances the runners into scoring position. Now with one out and one of your top hitters coming to the plate and Sawyer Farr, could be some more runs on the board here for Santa Barbara.
3-1 the score, top of 4. Switch hitter bats from the right side. He's 0 for 2 today. His first AB as a righty. He's K'd twice. Here's the pitch. Fastball will be in there, just clipping the inside edge for strike 1.
Farr, though, struggled a bit today, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Granted, that was against another pitcher. His first time facing Hernandez Videz.
2-on, 0-1. Fastball swing and a miss. Not the biggest follow through for Sawyer Farr. It's like right as he crossed the plate, you knew he was trying to hold up, and the follow through wasn't too far along past the plate, so it's now 0-2. Hernandez Videz, couple heaters past the switch hitter. First base open, 1 out. Stirs by 2 runs. The 0-2 pitch to Sawyer is a fastball called strike 3, and Sawyer knew it. He's going to strike out looking 2 out in the 4th.
Really tough day for Sawyer. I mean, I was just going to say, Hernandez Videz pitching from the opposite side, Sawyer Farr hitting from the opposite side, and different result this time. Still have a strikeout, but that time looking.
That's going to bring up Easton Mumaw. Second and third, 2 out. Easton bats from the left side. He's gone 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. It is going to be like the cutter away for ball 1 at the knees.
Easton Mumaw currently riding a 17-game hitting streak from the college season into the summer combined. He is red hot right now with the bat. Yet to get a hit today, though.
1-0. That's going to miss away on a fastball, ball 2. And Easton had 3 hits in the last game. Also an RBI walk. Also scored 3 runs. That was in the wild offensive game that was on Sunday against the Barons. Maddox Mandino, 8 ABs, 8 plate appearances for the man at the top spot of the order. But right now it's all about Mumaw. Second and third, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Up the middle, Chopper, the shortstop, has to range to his left, and it's going to get through in the center, a base hit, and 2 runs are coming in to score in Santa Barbara. Buff their lead. It is 5-1, 2 RBI single for Mumaw.
That's the advantage of 2-out hitting. Maybe if you don't have those 2 outs, you can run a little bit more conservatively. But now hey, I can run as long as I need to go, just as long as they don't get me out. And that allowed the runners to come across the plate from second and third on an infield single that just kind of snuck past the shortstop into the shallow outfield. Easton Mumaw now on, carries over the hitting streak.
Here's Brenton Clark, bats from the left side. 5-1, now the Stir lead. The pitch, fastball will miss away, ball 1. Brenton today, 1 for 1 with a walk and an RBI. And by the way, that's the 3rd and 4th run batted in this year for Easton Mumaw in just essentially 3.5 games. Here's the pitch as Clark squared to bunt, but pulls it back and takes the fastball low, 2-0.
Clark, another guy that can lay down a really good bunt. His coach over at Arkansas, Dave Van Horn, praised his ability to bunt back in the fall when Clark was a standout player for the Razorbacks in fall ball.
And first 2 gone. Lefty-lefty matchup is a 2-0 pitch high and in as Clark leans back from it for ball 3. As we are under the lights here at Jackie Robinson Field, just across the way from the Rose Bowl. Just right about sunset, 1 minute away. Last light around 8:33. Nice ambient light still out here in Southern California. The 3-0 pitch will clip the edge. Clark was about to toss the lumber back to first, but a called strike on a breaking ball from Hernandez Videz.
Crucial that Hernandez Videz got back in the zone there.
Terrence Kill, the second in his first day with the Sturs, stands on deck. 3-1 pitch as that will skip in down low. Ball 4, fastball in the dirt. After the 2-run single from Mumaw, Brenton Clark works his second walk of the day. He's aboard for the third time in this ball game.
That's exactly what Clark does. He just gets on base. And so far this season, he's got on base over half the time, OBP of 563. That'll be a mound visit, for Hernandez Vides. Maybe the Saints are looking to bring in a new arm.
And a visit to the Hill. One of the coaches for the Saints. We were talking about it earlier in this inning, but you could really tell the chemistry with this team. Even Bill Pintard, I believe it was after the second game, or it might have been the game on Sunday, saying you could just tell this team how good they've been after the last season for the Foresters, going 26-12, knocked out in the quarterfinals, the NBC tournament in Kansas and Wichita. He was very proud of what his team has been able to do, and you can just tell it on the bus. Always playing Mafia in the back of the bus, and on the ride back up from Compton, the entire team, they played after they got dinner, the entire bus ride, they didn't stop, and it was essentially the entire team playing all the way back to Santa Barbara. You could just tell how tight these guys are through the first week. Here's the first pitch now to Terrence Kill. It's in there for a strike on a fastball, 0-1.
Yeah, that's just, you mentioned the chemistry. I mean, that's the signs of something. You just can kind of feel it, All the great teams have that chemistry, the camaraderie to be able to be with each other all the time and enjoy it.
0-1 in the center field line, and the center fielder misjudged it. It's over his head. He moved in and has to move back. The ball is at the wall. 1 run in, 2 runs. Kill is thinking 3, and he will slide in head first to third base safely. 2 more runs tacked on, and the score is now 7-1, and Terrence Kill, a triple to bring home 2.
This is what the Foresters love to do. Get guys on base and then pass the bats around. That time, though, they clear the bases. Terrence Kill sends it to the deepest part of the ballpark. We mentioned this Jackie Robinson Field, an older ballpark here in the CCL. Weird configuration. It's a very deep center field, and he took advantage of that time. Even if I think the center fielder for the Saints judges the ball well, I still think it goes over his head. And Kill, with that speed, former receiver, able to go all the way to third on a hit to the outfield.
Here's the pitch to Hoover. It's a fastball on the outside edge for a strike at the knees. 0-1. So with 2 out, the Sturs have a 2-run single, a walk, and 2 RBI triple by Terrence Kill to extend the innings. The 0-1 on the ground, right side, in right field for a base hit, and Caleb Hoover keeps the line chugging along an RBI single in a right. Brings home his second run of the day, and the Stur lead now 8-1, make it 5 runs in the 4th.
Still no movement in the bullpen. I am very surprised they're keeping Hernandez Vides in this game, as I think maybe we could be getting a change here. No, Hernandez Vides staying on, but there is an arm warming up for Arroyo Seco.
The batter's now Rulli. The pitch missing inside. He had to shimmy his way back on the fastball. It's ball 1. Rulli is the 9th batter of this inning. It started a while ago with Grant Madrid Murray, a base hit in the center. 1-0. In the center field, it's going to stay in the yard. Drifting back is Noah Williams, and camps out under it and makes the squeeze. And the damage is done in this 4th inning. Rulli, the fly out in the center. But 5 runs come around to score. Mumaw, Kill, and Hoover bring them in. And what a 4th inning for the Sturs. Go to the bottom of the frame, 8-1, the Forester lead.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Into the bottom of the fourth inning from Jackie Robinson Field, the Sturs now lead 8-1 over the Saints. They push in 5 runs, top of the fourth. Andrew Gardino went with the bases loaded jam, only a single out, retired the 2 batters he faced. Starts off a fresh inning, facing the bottom 3. And here comes the first pitch now to Gannon Snyder, who bats from the right side. The pitch is a fastball missing in. That is ball 1.
I just think partially what helped out Gardino so much in that last inning was just how different he is as a pitcher to Navarre. You know, Navarre, shorter, left-handed, quicker approach.
The 1-0 is a slider missing high.
Gardino, he's taller, he's right-handed. He takes his time. He steps off the mound, gathers himself, and then when he does release that pitch, he has this really awkward kick out on his leg that can really throw you off as the hitter.
Ball's behind to the leadoff batter. Bottom of 4. 2-0 pitch is a fastball, blazes past him, 2-1.
And he has just so much velocity. It makes sense. 6'4", 185 is able to generate so much heat with that tall frame.
Infield straight away. The center fielder, Maddox Mandino, shaded a fraction into the gap. Here comes the 2-1 offering to Snyder. It's an off-speed in there, 4-strike, located very well top of the zone by Gardino, 2-2. Real tight slider from the relief pitcher. Ball fell behind, 2-0. 2-2 pitch to Snyder is a fastball, does not get the call. Looked like it was right on the corner, but will be ball 3 away. Snyder, Medella, and then Williams, 7, 8, 9, facing Gardino in this inning. 8-1, the Forester lead. And the 3-2 pitch to Snyder is, high fastball, and that took him off the helmet. He tried to drop his feet underneath, and you probably heard the thud off his helmet, and he's back onto his feet, slowly walking down the first baseline. That's the second time today someone has been hit in the helmet. And thankful to see him back to his feet, and you, at least where we were sitting, heard a pretty massive thud off the helmet, and he's down to first base, and the trainer from the third base dugout comes out, and glad to see Snyder okay.
Jeez, that was even more scary than the first one. That was a heater with a really, as you said, a loud sound that you probably could have heard on the broadcast. He got up right away. I kind of looked away for a second because I just was kind of expecting to look back and see him on the ground, but he was up, and he's now at first base talking to the trainer, talking to his first base coach.
He was trying to drop his feet out underneath him, and that ball was rising high and tried to fall underneath it. And
really stayed in the game. The Sturs batter who got hit with a fastball to the helmet, and I'm sure Snyder would love to do the same, and it appears that he will.
Gets a fist bump from Caleb Hoover, the first baseman, and the trainer will go back to the third base dugout, but 2 times batter in this game has been hit in the helmet. And that high fastball, we've been noting the speed from Gardino and the velocity he's been throwing, and that's not your average fastball that you see at a high school field. That's top college arm. Fastball coming high in, hits you in the helmet, but leadoff man is aboard, and Snyder was walked in the second.
And it definitely should be noted that, Thatcher, the pitcher who hit Ruley in the second, kind of struggled a bit with his location. The batter after walked Madrid Murray after he hit Ruley with the fastball.
First pitch now to Medella, goes right back to the fastball, misses low and away, and it isn't to note, Snyder just got hit in the head. Was very lively off of first base, shimmying and shaking.
Just like Ruley was in the second.
It is an 8-1 Forster lead, bottom of 4. Leadoff man aboard. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. As Medella lines it past the second baseman into right field for a base hit. The man at first base, the runner, Snyder, hit the dirt and was slow to get to second base. He's bent over on his knees. Don't know if he got tripped up on his shoes, but
I think he tried to duck under to not get hit by the baseball again. And he just struggled to get back up quick enough. Kill, in response, kind of struggled to pick up the ball. He really wanted to hurry and get it into second in time, but instead, in there without a throw from Kill. Snyder's safe at second and has taken his lead over there.
batter now Williams. Here's the pitch. Fastball missing away at belt height. 1-0. Williams at the 9th spot was hit by a pitch to lead off the third, so second straight inning, a hit batter. It started off an inning for the Saints. Sturs, now after 5 runs in the top of this inning, have a comfortable 8-1 lead. 1-0 pitch is a slider in there for a strike, 1-1.
Williams, if you look at it, he's one of their better players on paper, played professionally in single A with the Braves, just hit .374 at Colorado State Pueblo, and yet he's batting in the 9th spot. I really like that decision personally from the manager of the Saints.
First and second, nobody out. The 1-1's a fastball away, ball 2.
And that's just because I like that because, I usually think the 9-hole hitter is going to be one of the weaker guys in the lineup. But no, you can get your 9-hole hitter on base just like Williams can do so well. You have a runner on with the top of the order to the plate. It's just a new strategy that we've seen a lot of managers use it to their disposal.
Look to second base, 2-1 pitch is a slider, big rip from Williams, hit nothing but air, 2-2. It is worth noting for Gardino, he entered in the third. We were told Tag Andrews would be the second man out of the bullpen today. Just in the bottom of 4th. First and second, runners might take off. There's the 2-2 pitch. It's lined into left field for a base hit from second base. Snyder is coming around to score. The throw from Clark in left field is cut off, but the runner puts on the brakes, and the bases will be loaded. Snyder holds up at third. Medella to second, and Noah Williams a base hit in the left.
Clark, really good job of getting that thrown in time. Very possible that run could have come across the plate, but instead you hold him up. And oh boy, isn't Andrew Gardino familiar with this situation? Bases loaded, 1 out. It's how he came into the game. It's where he finds himself now. Runners at the corners, but it's definitely pressure. No, that is bases loaded. What am I saying? Will be
All first 3 men have all reached base. To bring up Eli Lopez. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. Lopez yet to record his first AB. He's been walked twice. Snyder at third. Medella at second. Williams at first. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, swing and a miss. Lopez couldn't hold off of it. Short follow through for the right-handed batter, the second baseman. So nothing in 2, and Gardino looking for a big first out if he is able to K Eli Lopez. 0-2 pitch. Will miss upstairs. Looked like that tight slider in 1-2.
Lopez has reached both times he's come up to the plate here with a walk.
And you do hear tossing down that Forster bullpen down the right field line. Imagine it's Andrews getting more ready to go. Bases loaded, nobody out. 1-2 pitch is that slider swing, and just off the end of the bat to stay alive, and that ball went into the backstop behind home plate. But Lopez did touch it. Trotter Enright, who's 1 for 1 today with the walk, stands on deck. Stars lead 8-1. Do not want to give the Saints momentum right back after putting up 5 in this inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball, and it's up and out of play over the first base dugout. 1-2.
Very similar as well, you know. The batters down to their final strike, just fouling off pitches again and again. Gardino, it's just so frustrating as the pitcher to see that.
8-1 the score. Saints look to close down this lead. 1-2 pitch is the slider up the middle. Chance for the second baseman, but it gets past Rulli. 1 run is in. 2 runs will come in to score. It's scooped up by Mandino, the center fielder. 2 runs enter on that play. That ball was chopped over the hill. Easton Rulli, the second baseman, looked to field it almost behind second base. Did not field it cleanly. Deflects. They're off his glove or off his foot. And 2 runs enter to score. 8-3, now the score.
That's just a really tough play to make. If you're Rulli over at second, it's just bouncing around a little weird and unable to field it cleanly. You're in your head, you're thinking double play, I got to field this and flip it to short, but instead, runners at the corners, 1 out still.
Here comes the first pitch now to the next batter. It's going to be Trotter Enright. It's going to miss away on a fastball from Gardino. It's ball 1. Runners on the corners, 2 runs in. 8-3 the score. Stars on top. Bottom of the 4th inning. Hoover holding on to the man at first base. Check back to the man at first base. So it remains 1-1 to Enright. 1-0 rather.
I really like that decision to just keep him true, hold him up there, keep the double play ball alive.
First and third. Looks like it'll be scored as an error for Lopez, which brought home the 2 runs. So the 1-0 pitch is a fastball and sprayed over the third base dugout. Halfway up the screen, 1-1.
Good bat velo on that one from Enright.
The first 4 men in this inning have all reached base against Andrew Gardino, a hit batter, and Snyder, who that scary ball that hit him off the helmet. Back-to-back singles, then an E4 to allow Lopez to reach. Brought home 2 runs. Here comes the 1-1. It's a fastball, swing and a miss by Enright. Strike 2.
There's that velocity again. The batters for the Saints just aren't able to catch up to it. Bat time. Dino trying to get out of this inning with no more damage.
Stars just put up 5 runs top half of the inning. 2 runs in, nobody out. And Andrew from the center of the hill, the 1-2 pitch. Runner goes from first to second. It's going to miss away. No throw down from Madrid Murray to second base. So Lopez to second on a stolen bag. The 1-2 pitch missed high and away on a fastball. 2-2. And Enright 1 for 1. He's already has a single into center. And a walk today. Bats from the left side. Here comes the 2-2. Is the slider in there, called strike 3. Enright will go down looking. 1 away in the 4th.
Gardino just needed a little bit of pressure. Runners in scoring position, but he manages to get that strikeout. Just how he entered the game. Gets the second out via the backwards K.
That's going to bring it to the plate from Joey Milto. 0 for 2. K'd twice. Both of which was against Bryce Navarre, the starter, who went 2 1/3. Got the start today. Then Gardino entered in the last inning. But second and third, 1 out. 2 runs in, 8-3 the score. Here's the pitch. Fastball down. That is ball 1 to Joey Milto.
You're coming to the part of a Saints lineup that's really struggled. You expect 3, 4, and 5 to be the ones that are on for you. 5 strikeouts between the trio.
And the man who stands on deck, the only man to reach base in those 3 batters via a walk in the last. Gardino receives a new baseball, tosses the old one to the third base dugout. Home side, Jackie Robinson Field, and 8:24 local time. Still see some surroundings, the mountains in the distance, some nice pine trees beyond the outfield fences, but it's getting dark here in Pasadena. 1-0 pitch is a fastball on the ground right side to the first baseman. Runs over to first, but a run's going to come in to score. Milto grounds out 3 unassisted, but he's going to bring home Williams for the third run of the inning. The score now 8-4, Sturs on top.
Yeah, just crucial, though, to get that second out. You don't mind getting another run across the plate. You still have some insurance, but even then, this Saints lineup, as we can see, get going at any moment.
Man at third, 2 gone. 8-4 now the score. Here's the pitch. The J.J. Kennedy's going to take a slider for a strike, 0-1. And as we just mentioned, Kennedy was the only man to reach base so far between 3, 4, and 5 hitters. So walk in the last inning, which was the last batter that Bryce Navarre faced in this ball game. Can he bring home the 5th run of this game with a man at third? 2 down. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball missing high. 1-1. When you look out towards the playing surface, the stadium lights kind of have an odd tint to it. The batted balls might be not the easiest to see with these stadium lights. Here's the 1-1. It's a slider in there for a strike, 1-2.
Also, that might means it's hard to see the ball out of the pitcher's hand. I mean, looked at that strike in the zone for Kennett. Advantage here to Gardino.
8-4 the score. And an eventful 4th inning in this ball game. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, the high fastball. And J.J. Kennett goes down swinging. And Gardino has his second strikeout of the inning. But 3 runs do come around for the Saints in the 4th. We head to the 5th frame. Sturs lead 8-4 over the Saints.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Into the 5th inning from Pasadena, California. The Sturs leading 8-4. An eventful fourth inning, 8 runs between the two teams as Grant Madrid Murray stands in. Here's the first pitch. It's the slider, swing and a miss. She felt it back into the catcher's glove, which is J.J. Kennett, but a new arm in for Arroyo. Seco, Tyler Herges, the right-hander, takes over. Deals a fierce pitch strike to Madrid Murray. And here is the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball down the right field line, slicing foul ground, long run for Milto, and he can't make the play. It's in foul ground. That is a long strike 2.
A lot of foul territory over there in right field, but Milto just could not get to it in time.
Madrid Murray today is 1 for 1, a run scored, and also a walk. So 8, 9, and 1. And after Grant will be Dallimore and then Mandino. 8-4 the Sturda lead. Grant's going to have to shorten up. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball swing and a miss, and Madrid Murray down on strikes. 1 away in the 5th.
Yeah, Tyler Herges is a pitcher that, when healthy, can be extremely effective. He struggled a lot with a shoulder injury that's kept him out, the last couple years, but really effective strikeout pitcher.
And that's going to bring up Brady Dallimore, who's 1 for 2, has an RBI single into left. Here's the pitch, and he's going to foul it back. Looked like the tight slider from Herges. Strike 1. In terms of strikeouts, Arroyo pitching, they have K'd 7 Forsters today. On the flip side, Santa Barbara pitching has K'd 6 Saints. Here's the 0-1. It's an off-speed missing away. Another slider. 1-1.
Yeah, but, and that's definitely something that the Foresters have struggled a bit with, is getting strikeouts. Besides Hudson Barrett, we haven't really seen and Tyler Fino, really. I haven't really seen a lot of guys get that, as that one will miss the zone 2-1 from Burgess.
Another slider on the third pitch. Don't want to shortchange Santa Barbara pitching. They actually have K'd 7 after the strikeout to Ken in the last, so 7 Ks for both teams. This is the 2-1. Fastball is low K down the middle, 2-2.
Way to fight back from Herges. Bill Pintard screaming out, "Shake it off, you're fine."
It's 2-2 to Dallimore. The pitch, it's a fastball on the outside edge, and back-to-back Ks for Herges, and Dallimore will go down looking, 2 out in the 5th.
He just knew that right away. He fastball down in the zone. Tough one for Dallimore. Really nice stuff for Herges.
That's going to bring around the top of the order, Mandino. And it's been a thing of consistency for Maddox, having a lot of plate appearances throughout games. Here's the pitch. Going to be a fastball missing high and away, and Maddox already standing in for the 4th time today. And it's just the 5th inning in the last game. 8 plate appearances against the Barons. In the game before that, he had 7 plate appearances, 6 against Conejo. And here's the next pitch, and it's bouncer over to the first baseman, who flips it to the pitcher, and it'll go down 3-1 on the ground out. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the reliever, Tyler Herges, as the Sturs go in order. Go to the bottom of the 5th, Santa Barbara leading 8-4 over the Saints.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back at Jockey Robinson Field, just across the street from the Rose Bowl, the Stars have an 8-4 lead going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Andrew Gardino remains on the bump, the reliever who took over in the 3rd. He will face 5, 6, 7. The Arroyo Seco Saints trailed by 4 after putting up 3 runs in the last, just after they conceded 5. So it was a very interesting 4th inning, but the first time it went 1, 2, 3 in the top half of this frame when the Stars went in order.
And the Saints won't be too mad about that. Their bats were hot in the last inning against Gardino, who's staying in here. Maybe looking to take advantage of that some more.
First batter will be Jacob Freer, bats from the left side. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be a slider located on the outside edge for a strike. Freer today, he's gone 0 for 2. It's K'd twice. Now the 0-1 windup, the pitch. It's a fastball high and away, and Freer was actually the first man that Gardino faced back in the 3rd inning after he entered for Bryce Navarre, who went 2 1/3. Here comes the 1-1 now to the leadoff man. It's a slider and tap back just behind home plate for strike 2.
Sure, Freer's feeling a little deja vu right now. Was struck out twice already, including Gardino.
To follow Freer will be Little and then Snyder for Arroyo Seco, down by 4 runs. Gardino, glove to the mouth, and the 1-2 delivery to the leadoff man. High fastball, not competitive, 2-2. Remember, we said that Tag Andrews would be the next man out of the pen. Gardino has a cap of about 50 pitches here today, says the pitching coach Scott Murray, as the Stars look to try to solidify their starting rotation in their bullpen. Here's the 2-2. Slider in there, called. Strike 3, backdoors it. Freer goes down looking, striking out for the 3rd time today.
First time looking as well for Freer. Really confused this tonight.
4th punchy of the day for Gardino. In terms of continuing that thought on starting pitching, as it is the first full week, full 6 games, this is when you start to really kind of solidify your rotations and what days you have certain guys that are hot, and everyone gets to be accustomed to what they're now doing with the Foresters. It's the first pitch, slider to Little, is going to miss away.
I do think a couple names that come to mind immediately are the guys from opening day. It's Hudson Barrett and Frank Camarillo. Both of them gave you 4 and 5 innings respectively. Those are numbers that you would see. I'd love to see out of your starters.
And Little bats from the right side. The 1-0 pitch. See a fastball away and high a fraction. That's ball 2. Will be coming up for Barrett and Camarillo to pitch next, as it was last Friday. A few days' time when they'll be slated next, but everything getting solidified. Some more guys showing up today. A few more reliever arms as well. 2-0 pitch is a slider for a strike, 2-1. And of course, the man who started today and just recently showed up, Navarre, getting quickly thrown into the fire, so to speak, and being asked today by Bill Pintar to pitch.
Did a very good job as well, all things considered. You know, first day with the team, gets, as you said, thrown into the fire and do too horribly.
2-1 pitch is a fastball taken past the second baseman, nearly able to be gloved by Easton Ruley, the second baseman, but it's into center field. Is a long, wide turn from the man who was at the plate. Little, he'll slide in head first. He was about 3/5 of the way down to second base, but will slide back in head first to first. He's going to settle with a single, a 1-out knock, and he has his first hit of the day.
I don't know if Jack Little watched any film on Maddox Mandina, but you do not run on that arm in center field. He would have easily got him out there at second base.
So the 1-out knock for Little, 8-4 the score. Foresters on top to bring up Snyder. Reached twice today. Here comes the pitch. You're going to see it away. That is ball 1. And Snyder was the man who, in the last inning, took a fastball from Gardino off the helmet. A very deafening thud off the head, and it's fantastic, and thankful to see him get back up and go down to first base, stay in this game. Here's the 1-0. It's a slider, rather, in there for a strike. 1-1. It gets past Grant Madrid Murray. The throw down to second will be late. That ball just got cut up under the legs of Madrid Murray, the catcher, and as a result, Little to second.
Really unfortunate for Madrid Murray. Had a very solid, game behind the plate, blocking a few balls against the Oaks on Saturday. Struggling a bit more under the lights here. That's another thing to keep in mind is as the catcher, fielding those balls in the dirt, balls high, trying to get it quick to your other arm to throw it. Really tough job for McGrid Murray.
Man at second now, 1 out. 8-4 the Forester lead. 1-1 pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. Again, a short ball through for Snyder. Not the biggest rip in the world. It's 1-2.
And with the runner in scoring position now, Gardino is still going after Snyder.
You can just see the outline of the mountains beyond the plain surface here as we look inland. 1-2 pitch. There's a slider lifted in the left center field. Long run for Brenton Clark, and the left fielder will make the squeeze, and holding at second base is the runner Little. Big second out for Gardino and company.
Great play by Brenton Clark out there in left. He's mainly been playing right field. Puts him on. Coach Pintard puts him on the opposite corner. Has a long run, but is able to field that one. Just showcasing his defensive ability, his speed, all things that he was praised for by his manager at Arkansas, Dave Van Horn.
That's going to bring up Levi Medella. Runner at second. 2 out. Sturs are leading by 4. Bottom of the 5th inning. Medella bats from the left side. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball down the right field line. That ball is fair, and from second base, Little looks to score. Kill will scoop up, throw down to second base as the runner tries to advance, and he's going to be out at second base. A run's going to come in to score, but Medella was trying to swipe 2. Kill was able to gun him down at second for the 3rd out, but it's now an 8-5 scoreline as we head to the 6th. Farr, Muma, and Clark coming up next.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
In the 6th inning, Sawyer Farr, the switch hitter, will lead off. Bats from the left side. Here's the pitch. Fastball popped up down the left field line. The third baseman, Freer, goes out and is able to make the catch in the middle of left field in foul ground to retire Sawyer Farr as Tyler Hergis, the relief pitcher, 1 pitch and 1 out to retire Sawyer, with the Foresters leading 8-5 to start off the 6th inning, now 1 down.
It's just Hergis' MO right there. Quick outs. Bringing a little bit of a pace to a game that's dragging on nearly 3 hours here, and we're only in the 6th.
Saints able to tack on a run. They've scored in the last 3 innings to make it a 3-run game. They're hanging around as the first pitch now on its way, and will be a called strike on a fastball to Easton Muma. Easton today has gone 1 for 3. A line out to short, ground out to short, base hit in the center, which brought home 2 runs, and he has also scored a run. Here's the pitch as a slider in there for a strike, 0-2, and Hergis is dealing here in the middle innings. To follow Mumon will be Brenton Clark. 0-2 pitch, fastball down the way, ball 1.
Yeah, Hergis really struggled in his last outing. Walked 3, gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, no strikeouts. Way better second performance here for the Saints.
1 out, and the base is clear. Sturs by 3. A 1-2 pitch. Fastball is rolled back into the backstop and towards the third base dugout. Remains 1-2. By the way, it's 2, 3, and 4 with Farr the first victim in this inning. Burgess winds up the 1-2 pitch, and Muma is able to spit on it, missing inside. Breaking ball 2-2.
Muma has done a really good job of getting on base. 706 OBP through 3 games.
Here comes a 2-2 pitch. It's rolled down the first baseline, and it looked like it went foul off of his ankles and down on his knees and rolled onto his back was Easton, and he will pop up and slowly, gingerly retrieve the lumber that J.J. Kennett, the catcher, picked up for him and took that off the ankles, and Bill Pintard comes halfway out of the first base dugout to talk with 23, and a lot of pain after that ball went off his ankles.
A bit of a trend this game, guys. Getting hit by baseball is just tough to see, but they're all so tough. He's going back into the batter's box ready for this 2-2 pitch.
There's a slight gimp as he digs himself back in from the left side. 1 out, bases clear. Foresters lead 8-5. Top of 6. Here comes the 2-2. Muma sees a curveball and will miss a fraction high and away. It might have clipped the upper corner. Count now full. Here comes the payoff pitch, and that is called strike 3. Muma thought he had first base, but instead he's going to go down looking. The fastball on the inside edge, and he will slowly gate his way back to first base. And all 5 men that Hergis has faced, he is retired with 3 Ks.
Definitely his biggest battle so far. Gets the full, but he's still able to get the result. Really impressive stuff so far from Hergis.
Here's the pitch now to Clark. Brenton takes a slider for a strike after initially showing bunt. Foresters leading 8-5, and Brenton reached base on all 3 occasions he has come to the plate today. It's been fun to watch him swing the bat. 0-1, there's a slider in. 1-1, he's base hit the other way. 2 walks, an RBI, and a run scored.
You know what Clark is trying to do here? He's trying to send it into opposite field. He's done it so many times this season, including tonight.
Here's the pitch, and it's on the ground right side to the second baseman. It gets past his glove, skips right over it. The second baseman, Eli Lopez, and a 2-out error to extend the 6th inning. Clark will reach on an E4 in the 6th.
Just as I was saying, he likes to send it into opposite field. That time going down the first base line, hops it past the second baseman. That was a well-hit ball. And Clark is on with 2 outs, and we know he has speed. Maybe you see him go.
Batter will now be Terrence Kill, the second. Playing in his first game with the Foresters. He's gone 2 for 3. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Actually fouls it back behind the plate for strike number 1. Last time up, notably, the triple into center field, which brought home 2 runs in the 4th when the Stars pushed in 5. A 5 spot on the scoreboard in the 4th.
Yeah, and Kill, after striking out, looking in the 2nd, he's come back aggressive. He's done a really good job. He had a hit. He had that triple. Really good stuff so far from Kill.
And at first, 2 gone. Here's the 0-1, and the slider away. Ball and a strike, as you still see just a very hint outline of the mountains as you look inland here at Jackie Robinson Field. Most of the ambient line is now gone. Under these lights, Jackie Robinson Field. Ball and a strike now for Kill. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, high in the zone, strike 2.
Love the aggressive swing right there from Kill, though.
Stars in the next couple days. On the road tomorrow at Cal Lutheran, play Conejo, 4 o'clock start time, and then 6 o'clock start time against the Barons, another night game Thursday. 2 out base runner at first, and Kill ducks under another ball, and it looks like it went off his helmet. And Kill is okay. He trotted over to the third base dugout trying to get out of the way of that baseball, and he's going to go down to first base. That is the 3rd batter this game that has took a ball off the helmet. And great to see him okay. And
that one definitely just grazed him a little bit. He kind of ducked under it at the perfect moment to where it just clips him. And the home plate ump is asking our trainer, Alina, to take a look at him. Just a scream out from Pintard saying, "You all right, we'll do instead," I think.
That's a good way to describe a grazing blow because it was not nearly the same sound of what happened to
Not at all.
Snyder.
Didn't send him to the ground like it did to Snyder or to Ruley. Very grateful that, of course, though, that he is okay.
First and second. After the 2-out error, Clark at second base, and the batter will be Caleb Hoover, who has a home run today. Here's the pitch. Is a slider which is fouled back into the backstop. Strike one. 8-5, the Forster lead. Top of the 6th inning. Hoover's 2 for 3 today. Solo shot, home run in the second, RBI single, which was in the right back in the 4th. 0-1 pitch is down the middle on a fastball, and Caleb will take strike 2.
Obviously, Caleb had that home run, but he also had that single in the 4th. Really solid job today of getting on base.
2 men aboard. 2 out. 0-2 pitch is a slider, and that's in the dirt. Nearly hit his left foot rather. Base runners advance. Big wide turn at third for Brenton Clark. He puts on the brakes. That's going to be a ball in the dirt, and that's going to allow Brenton Clark to third and Terrence Kill to second on the wild pitch. And the Sturs, whose lead is down to 3. At one point, it was 7 as they lead 8-5. Chance to get a couple back. Tyler Herges. The 1-2 pitch is a fastball missing away at belt height, 2-2.
Herges, just as you know, he looked like he was going to get through another quick inning. The hit by pitch, the error, and now 2 in scoring position. Kind of losing it a bit as this inning drags on.
Will the 2-out error haunt the Saints? We enter the late innings. The 2-2 pitch, swing and foul back over the third base dugout. Into the road to our left. It remains 2-2. If Hoover should reach, Easton Ruley will be next. Currently no wins. The American flag, which is located directly in center field in the playing surface. The actual flagpole is in fair ground in center field. Is the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. The high fastball will retire Caleb Hoover. He goes down swinging. And the Sturs leave 2 in scoring position. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Santa Barbara leading 8-5 over the Saints.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Back at Jackie Robinson Field, just across the way from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. New arm entering for the Sturs will be Tag Andrews as he's going to face 9-1-2, bottom of the 6th.
The first pitcher we've seen for a second time this season. Andrews making his second appearance for the Foresters.
Here comes the first pitch to Noah Williams. The lefty batter is going to take a fastball for a strike, 0-1. The Sturs have an 8-5 lead, bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and a crucial part of the game for Andrews here. It's 3 runs.
The 0-1 pitch and a big hit from the leadoff man Williams as he will quickly fall behind 0-2.
Saying a big time to come in here. It's 3 runs. It's the 6th inning. Still is anyone's game here.
0-2 pitch into center field for a base hit. Falls in front of Maddox Mandino, and Noah Williams is aboard for the 3rd time today. He picks up his 2nd hit, and it's a leadoff single for the Saints.
Really tough for Andrews, who, got ahead on the count there, 0-2. Got a big swing and a miss on that 2nd strike. Then to give off the leadoff hit. He had a really tough outing last time. Gave up 2 hits, 3 walks, a couple of runs. Now, top of the order, this is a tough time to come in here for the youngin from Arkansas.
Here's the first pitch. It's going to miss down on a fastball to Eli Lopez, who's 0 for 1. He has worked 2 walks, but reached on an E4 back in the 4th. Now in the bottom of 6, Sturs by 3 runs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Is a slider into the gap in left center field. Brenton Clark will cut it off. Great read by the left fielder. And it's going to hold up the runners at 1st and 2nd, and back-to-back singles for the Saints to start off the 6th.
That's exactly why you put the 9-hole hitter who can really hit the ball well as that in that position. Because if he gets on, then the leadoff man can send him along, and just like that, you got 2 on, nobody out. Some good strategic play by the Saints.
And that will bring up Trotter Enright. There's a nice blood moon. Peers its way over the pine trees beyond the right field fences here in Pasadena. First pitch is a fastball missing away, ball 1. And most of the surroundings, the mountains in the distance, completely dark here. Now approaching 9 o'clock local time. We appreciate you sticking with us if you're in different time zones. Here's the 1-0. Fastball will clip the outside edge, 1-1 to Trotter Enright, 1st and 2nd. Nobody out in the Saints half of the 6th.
Andrews mainly a guy that throws 2 pitches. It's the fastball and the slider.
Here's the 1-1. It's the slider and spoiled back wall on top of the 3rd base dugout. Up the screen for strike 2.
That's all you need, Hunter, is just 2 pitches working. It's the fastball that then sets up the slider. And if those are both effective, you can have yourself a solid outing on the mound.
He's facing Enright, who's gone 1 for 2. There go the runners. The 1-2 pitch will miss away. The throw down to 3rd. A good one, a little high, safe. And a double steal, Lopez to 2nd. And the throw down was to Noah Williams, who slid in feet 1st to 3rd. And there's a little high from Madrid Murray. But 2 now in scoring position with no one out. And the count now 2-2 to Enright. Bats from the left side. The pitch is a fastball away at the knees. The Forster dugout thought it was called strike 3, but instead, full count.
Really unlucky miss there for Andrews.
Next will be Joey Milto, the number 3 batter. But the tying run is at the plate, bottom of the 6th. Payoff pitch, fastball down, ball 4, and the first 3 men reach base to load him up. Nobody out in the 6th.
Andrews just struggling a bit with the location there. He had a couple of near misses, and that time was pretty out of his zone. Bases juiced. Pressure's on Andrews here with just a 3-run game. Tying run just got on.
That will now be Joey Milto representing go-ahead run at the plate, 0 for 1. Did bring home a run on a ground down in the 4th. But the pitch is going to be down low. Looked like the slider from Andrews. Good cover from Madrid Murray. Runners at bay. Ball 1.
Crucial cover from Madrid Murray.
Tag Andrews in some trouble. Darren Orlando was told to be the 3rd man out of the bullpen. You imagine he's warming up. The 1-0. Fastball got Milto tangled up, but it will be a called strike 3 on the inner half, 1-1. Williams at third, Lopez second, and Wright first. 8-5, the Forester lead. But right now, the 1-1 pitch to Milto. Fastball away, ball 2. Critical junction of this game. An opportunity for the Saints to take their first lead of this ball game. Nobody out. 2-1 pitch. Slider, swing and a miss. Great delivery from Andrews.
Massive to get the swing and miss. It's great for your confidence. A strikeout here would be awesome for Andrews. Still searching for his first as a stir.
And by the way, the man at the plate has 6 runs batted in just 3 games. That leads the team for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Andrews will step off and reset the right-hander on the hill against the lefty batter of Milto. Bases filled with Saints. Nobody out. 2-2. Fastball's lifted and out of play and nearly hits the stadium light just behind home plate. Still 2-2. It has cooled off. First pitch was about 76 degrees when the stir showed up. Much warmer day compared to what Santa Barbara has faced, but starting to cool off. 2-2. Fastball up the middle to the second baseman. Deflects off his glove, but they're saying interference. It hit the batter. It hit the runner at second, and the ball immediately dead. And it looks like that's going to bring home the run. The runner at second. I believe if I didn't blink twice, it did hit the runner, did it?
It did hit the runner, and they're going to say it's bases loaded here, I think. Bill Pintard happy with that call, obviously. It didn't really allow Rowley to make the play. That is a really, really interesting call in the field.
So the bases are going to be loaded. It hit the runner at second. There's no play for Sawyer Farr to make the play. Now Bill Pintard coming out to talk with the plate umpire. It's now 8-6 the score. Bases remain loaded.
Rightfully so. I mean, it's a really big call here. It's the difference between 2 runners on and 1 out. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Pintard walks back to the dugout with some words to say. But yeah, we're gonna have the umpires meet, talk over what the right call will be here.
Yeah, the crew converses just on the third base side of the hill. But that ball ricocheted off R2. Farr couldn't make a clean play, the shortstop. But they're going to put the runner at first, bring home Williams at third. And it will be an 8-6 scoreline. Bases loaded, still nobody out.
Really unfortunate there for the Stars. As we kind of said, you know, the Saints, they got a really potent offense. They've been clawing but their way back after that 5-run inning, 3 runs in the bottom half, and now at least 1 run scored. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Here's the first pitch now to J.J. Kennett. Is going to take a strike on the slider, couldn't lay off of it, 0-1. So the tying run now at second base, 8-6 the lead for Santa Barbara. They've been bleeding runs since the bottom of the 4th. 0-1. Sliders popped up and over the first base dugout, off the stadium light, and will fall directly just to the left of Bill Pintard, about 2 feet. After he went back to the first base dugout, that is strike 2. The bases remain loaded, still nobody out, and a run in for the Saints. The 0-2 pitch from Andrews, swing and a foul back, and the ball fouled back into the backstop behind the plate. 0-2, it remains.
Andrews has done a really good job in this outing of getting ahead in the count 0-2. The hardest part has been the put away, though.
Bases remain loaded. 0-2 pitch is a slider, chopped to the third baseman, charges in the throw at the plate. They got him at home on the force out. Grant Madrid-Murray just had to receive that ball cleanly, tap for home plate. They get the force out. Bases will remain loaded, but 1 out on the scoreboard.
That's crucial, you know. Just get the first out. The run doesn't score. Basically just as good as a strikeout right there, you know.
Go down 5-2 on the put out. And that's going to bring up Jacob Freer. Bases remain loaded, but now a ground ball to end this inning and limit the damage to just a single run. 8-6 the score. And the Saints have scored now 5 runs in the last 3 innings. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be a fastball missing away, ball 1.
Freer, he's struggled this game. He's had 3 strikeouts so far.
1-0 is in the left center field. Long run for Clark, and it's over his head. 1 run in. They're looking for 2. And here comes a third runner. 1 run in, 2. And the play at the plate safe. No throw in. And a bases clearing double for Jacob Freer. And the Saints have their first lead of the game.
Doesn't matter if it doesn't really matter, if you go strike out 3 times, if you can get a bases clearing double to take your first read of a game, that is clutch situational hitting by Freer, and that might be Tag Andrews gonna get a talk from the pitching coach.
It's gonna be Scott Murray coming out from that first base dugout, but the first lead of the game for Arroyo Seco. When you look at this game, the Stars put up a 5 spot in the 4th. And at the time, going into the bottom of the 4th frame, they were leading 8-1. 3 runs in the 4th rather. 1 in the 5th. They have now plated 4 in this inning. And they now lead 9-8.
And still only 1 out with a runner in scoring position. I mean, this inning is far from over for Tag Andrews. Second really tough outing. And that just kind of comes back to the interference call over
right
on that hit earlier in the inning, and yeah, that plays a difference. The umpire's call to say bases loaded, nobody out, instead of a couple runners on with 1 out. That's a big difference there, Hunter.
Massive. And Jacob Freer, you just said it, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks and bases clearing double. The batter will now be Jack Little. Here's the pitch. It's a slider, foul tip back in the glove, strike 1.
We'll say if there's something that Andrews has done a really good job of today, it's getting ahead of the counts.
The Foresters trailing for the first time in this game. And Andrews coming set. The 0-1 pitch is up the middle and gets past Sawyer Farr, the shortstop. A base hit into center, and from second base, Freer was coming home, and a play down to second base. In safely on the throw is Little to second, and it's now a 10-8 lead for the Saints.
The Foresters are rattled all over the place. Mandino, who's been as good as you can get in center field, especially on the throws, kind of fumbles with the ball, and then a bad throw to second because of him fumbling with the ball originally. Same as position you found yourself in before. Runner on second, 1 out. No sign of this inning being done yet.
We'll see how that's scored with a base hit and then an E8. But right now, another run in, 10-8 to score. Here's the first pitch. It's away on a fastball to Gannon Snyder. In this inning, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 runs to make it a 10-8 lead for the Arroyo Seco Saints. You said it, no double play in the fleck with the ground balls. Now Grant Madrid Murray, the catcher, out to have a word with Andrews.
Tard looking over to the bullpen. You can hear the next man up, likely to be Darren Orlando, warming up still.
And this season, granted, just in the 4th game tonight, the Stars have trailed only briefly once. That was in the Conejo game on the 7th when they conceded a run in the 1st, then put up 3 in the 2nd to immediately regain the lead. I should say take the lead for the first time after giving up the run, but just been bleeding runs, especially since that 4th inning, but some work to do against Gannon Snyder.
This is what we kind of expected, Hunter. It kind of didn't feel like it for a bit, but the offenses are showing off. These are the 2 top offenses in this young season of the CCL. Certainly, this has been that way through 6.
Man at second, 1 out. 1-0 pitch is a fastball outside of foul back into the screen directly behind the plate. 1-1 now for Snyder. There's only 0 for 1 today. He has a walk. He's been hit by a pitch. That was that frightening hit by a pitch in the head. in the fourth came around to score on that occasion. But the Saints look for more. They lead 10-8. Here's the 1-1. Fastball missing high. Ball 2. Five runs in this inning. The Stars had 5 runs in the fourth to extend their lead. At that point, it was 8-1. 2-1. Slider away, and Madrid Murray sliding over to his right. That's ball 3.
Tough miss there for Andrews. This inning drags on for him. Couldn't finish his first inning of play now. Similar spot in his second appearance as a Star.
Infield straight away, as is the outfield. 3-1 pitch. Sliders in there. Full count. Snyder thought he had first base, had to step towards the first baseline, but called back 3-2.
Way to find the zone and load up the count by tag.
Looking for the second out. Medella stands on deck. 3-2 pitch. Slider into center field. It's a base hit. From second base, Little is coming around to score. The play at the plate. The throw is wide, and an RBI single for Gannon Snyder. 11-8, the Saints lead.
It was a tough play for Mandino to get that throw in time. It was a good throw. It had the distance, but it was just a little to the right of home plate, and Bill Pintard onto the field. This will be a Tag Andrews day, I suspect.
6 runs in the 6th for the Saints. 11-8, and remember the Stars were leading through 3.5, going into the bottom of the 4th, 8-1. And there will be a pitching change. Will be a man at first, a single out. New man entering for Santa Barbara. Saints by 3 runs. Bottom of the 6th inning, and the Saints have pushed in 6 runs in the 6th. It is now 11-8. Arroyo Seco, they lead. And Tyler Fino, who pitched just 2 days ago in the last game against the Barons, had a perfect 3-up, 3-down middle innings, is now called on by Bill Pintard.
Yeah, I mean, we were a little surprised to see this, but if you think about it, big situation Bill Pintard feels early in the season. This is kind of a big moment for his team, causing a guy that maybe gave him the best outing of anybody we've seen so far. 9 up, 9 down, 3 strikeouts against the Barons on Sunday. And just 2 days later, coming in a massive moment against the Saints with a runner on and one out.
Can Santa Barbara limit this damage and keep it a manageable ball game? Trailing now by 3. After at one point they were leading 8-1.
I mean, do you just expect that maybe this is a quick 2 outs and then go back to the plan of bringing in Darren Orlando in the 7th?
True. Very good line of thought. We'll have to see. With Andrews entering this inning, recording 1 out. The batter will now be the 9th man to stand in for the Saints this inning, Levi Madella, who's had himself a 2-for-3 day, RBI and a run scored. He also has grounded into a double play. That's what Fino looks for, a ground ball here to get out of this inning. Fino, the right-handed reliever against the lefty batter of Madella. The pitch is going to be a fastball missing down and away, ball 1.
And I only ask that because, this is a guy, Fino, who only made 1 appearance as a freshman this past year at TCU.
And with the 3 innings, granted it was relatively quick work, 9 up, 9 down, just 2 days back. Man at first and some gamesmanship off of first base as the 1-0 pitch. It's a slider right side to the first baseman. Hoover throws to second. They get the force out. The runner, no, they went in and out of the glove. No, but they're saying the out was recorded before the ball was dispatched out of the glove of Sawyer Farr. So it's going to go down 3-6 on the force out, and Madella is going to reach on a fielder's choice.
I was going to say that would have been some just more bad luck for the Sturs, but instead, quick out for Fino. Quick out for the Sturs, crucially. Now you bring up the man who started it all, Noah Williams, who's been a problem man the couple times he's come up to the plate.
Saints lead 11-8, 2 out man at first. Williams, the 10th man to stand in. The Saints have batted around in this inning. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball sprayed over the third base dugout. Strike 1.
Williams has reached every single time he's come to the plate. He's scored a couple of runs so far. He's a dangerous base runner. This is a crucial out to get for the Sturs.
By the way, in the 7th, Sturs have Rulli, Madrid, Murray, Dallimore, 7, 8, 9 coming up to start the 7th. Fino looks to first base, the right-handed reliever. Working from the third base side of the hill. The 0-1 pitch is a slider into right field, and Kill will make the grab. Sliding into his knees, the right fielder, the man who just got activated today. Great play by the right fielder to retire Noah Williams, but the damage has been done by the Saints. It's now an 11-8 lead. Going to the 7th, Sturs have work to do, down by 3.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Into the 7th inning from Jackie Robinson Field in Pasadena, California. Easton Ruley will lead off with a new arm. Daniel Tovar, the right-hander, taking over for the Saints. Here's the first pitch as Easton will take a slider for a strike, 0-1.
Tovar, the right-hander, plays his college ball at Nevada, the Mountain West.
He looks to be trying to work quickly. Now will come set from the belt. The 0-1 to Ruley is a fastball missing high, ball 1.
A tough season there. ERA just a tick below 10. 0-1 as his record.
The Saints now lead 11-8 after 6 runs in the 6th. It's been an interesting game. Here's the 1-1. Fastball high and tight. And now a warning given to the Arroyo Saints pitcher and dugout. That ball nearly hit the chin of Ruley. And remember, we've already had 3 batters hit in the head, and the plate umpire
including
adamant.
Ruley.
Yes.
Including Ruley, which is why I think that probably came from the ump. And
An immediate warning.
yeah, and the Saints are not happy about that at all. The manager, Aaron Millam, coming out of the dugout just to get some clarification on why they got a warning for that.
And that was Ruley back in the 2nd.
Which feels like a eternity ago, Hunter.
And the plate umpire will help usher back the manager to the third base dugout. But it was ball 2, and Daniel Tovar has fired 3 pitches so far. It's 2-1 to Easton, then Madrid, Murray, Dallimore, 7, 8, and 9. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. That's going to miss high for ball 3. Well, how will the Stars respond? You heard their manager, Bill Pintar, in that first base dugout during the break say, all right, guys, come on. Just gave up the 6th spot. You're only down by 3 runs in this game, and it's just the 7th inning. A lot of outs to work with. Can they get their leadoff man aboard? The 3-1 is peppered down the right field line. High looping foul ball. Strike 2.
Yeah, as you said, there's a lot of baseball still left. Especially, I really like whenever the back end of a lineup comes up for the Stars. They've done a really good job of getting on so far.
And the count is full for Easton. Payoff pitch. Fastball might be a broken bat. It's flared up. The second baseman can't get there, fields it, and the throw will be late. And Easton Ruley is aboard. That ball is flared up. Might have a broken lumbar and jam near the hands, but he is aboard.
Showcasing his speed right there. Really great stuff. Just an absolute sprint to first on the broken bat. Tough ball to field for the second baseman, Lopez. Leadoff man is on here for the Stars.
I'll bring up the catcher, Madrid Murray. 1 for 2 with the walk and a run scored. Daniel Tovar, in his first man he faces, has a full count, gives up the base hit. So a man at first. Here's the pitch. It's in the air in the left. Drifting back is Snyder to the left fielder, and is going to make a comfortable catch in the middle of the left field lawn. There's the first out of the 7th.
You heard some of the Star dugout kind of going, oh, is there a chance? No, that one died pretty easily out in left field. It's a very deep left field as well. This is definitely one of the deeper ballparks in sections that we have in the CCL. 345 out to left, out to right. I can't really get a read on what it says out the left.
And especially now with this air as well, it's cooled off considerably since the first pitch, and you can just feel the air heavy and almost a little bit of a moisture in the air. Man at first, 1 out. Here's the first pitch to Dallimore. Spits on a slider, but takes a strike, 0-1.
Dallimore's had a couple hits today. Some hard-hit baseballs as well at that.
Been aboard twice. A couple waggles through the zone from the man who bats from the right side. Tovar, the 0-1 delivery. Down the left field lines, drawing. Will it stay fair? And that ball will be going foul. It had the distance down that left field line, but draws foul for a long strike 2.
It had the distance. Oh, that would have been massive for the Foresters. Would have made it a one-run game. Super tough for Dallimore, but he knows he's got that in him.
on the pull side for the right-handed batter, but it's now strike two. He's going to have to shorten up to protect the plate. Man at first, one out. Seco Saints by 3 runs. 0-2 pitch. There goes the runner. It's away for ball one, and the throw is going to hit the catcher, the pitcher on the back of the head. The throw from the catcher hit the Tovar's head as he was ducking under to make sure to get out of the way, but blares the cap off of his head, and another man hit high on the throw down to second.
With a little less padding as well than a baseball helmet. I mean, really, really tough for Tovar. He got back up as well very quickly as well. To be noted, as the trainers come over to check on him. The whole team really coming over to check on him.
The throw from Kennett, the catcher, just low and on the front of the hill.
And even
squatted down and just hits him.
Even if it was online, though, I do think Easton really would have beat him at second. He got a really good jump over there on the stolen base attempt.
11-8 the score. Arroyo Seco, they lead after 6 runs in the 6th.
What is that, four players now to get hit in the head, 4 or 5? Yeah,
I believe 4, and then the close call to Easton to start off this inning, which could have been 4 if it did hit him.
And got the warning as
right.
well. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely something to note. As the ump, of course, these are college arms. These are guys with, maybe a little colder, that they didn't get as much run as they did with their universities. And, their command just might not be there. Their location kind of all over the place. But still, I mean, there's one place you should not hit somebody where the ball should not end up, and it's to the head area.
And the trainer's still talking with Daniel Tovar, and it looked like it was right at the junction between the spine and the cranium, right there at the top edge of the back. That's where it might have clipped him and knocked the head, the hat, not the helmet, off the pitcher who was crouched down.
It should be noted now both managers are talking to the home plate ump, Pintard and Millam, just trying to, get a read on the situation, to get a read on the game, on how to best handle this on the way forward.
As we're slowly approaching 9:30 local time, and again, if you're sticking with us in different time zones, we appreciate it. You joining this Forster Radio Network on the road. I know most of the players from Texas in different time zones, so if you're still with us, thanks for being with us and into your possibly Wednesday morning. As the Forsters on the road for the 4th straight game, trail by 3, and it looks like Tovar still talking with the trainer. The batter still is Dallimore. It's 1-2, but the stolen bag for Rulli is now at second, single out, just in the top of the 7th.
This is definitely one of the longer the meetings we've had between the trainers and the players. Of course, the Eastern Rulli one took a few minutes. This one taking a few minutes as well. Do you think it appears as if Tovar will stay in the game? As everyone heads back to their stations, Tovar will stay in the game. He's going to get a couple of pitches to warm up here, reestablish himself. I do have to imagine, though, as a pitcher, it's a little tougher to come back after something like that. Maybe a little tougher to find the zone.
And he fires away to his catcher, J.J. Kennett. Remember, the Sturs and the Saints, to just the first 3 games, both teams offensively have had an extremely fast start. And that has been on display today with, between the two teams, 11 for the Saints and 8 for the Sturs. So 3 tosses for Tovar to get himself recalibrated after taking a throw down to second off the head as he's crouched down on the front of the hill. Really induced the throw with the stolen bag. Now it's second, 1 out, and that stolen bag will eliminate a possible double play by Dallimore if he rolls into a ground ball. Tovar, 1-2 pitch is going to be a slider away, and a great keep by Kennett, the catcher, covers that ball up in the opposite batter's box.
Really was ready to dash to third base. Great cover by the catcher.
And if Dallimore is able to reach, that would bring the tying run to the plate. After the Sturs gave up 6 runs in the 6th. 2-2 pitch. And looked like the cutter missing away from Tovar just barely. The Saints dugout thought he had called strike 3. Instead, it's ball 3 and a full count.
Definitely do have to say, as this game drags on, the dugouts are getting ever so louder.
And at second, 1 out. Tovar looks to second. And here comes The 3-2 pitch finally to Dallimore, and he jammed and popped it up behind home plate into the seats. About 10 rows deep into this amphitheater-style seating, which is here at Jackie Robinson Field, just normal bleachers, no seat backs that use its way around first and third base dugouts.
Guessing we probably have about, 15, 20 spectators here, and it just happens, that ball happened to land at the feet of 4 of them.
The big 3-2 pitch again. Dallimore will chop it over to the shortstop, but the third baseman will cut it off, and the throw to first will be in time. The first baseman, Medella, using all of his frame to reach out and squeeze that ball on the home plate side of first base on the throw from Freer, the third baseman. So Dallimore, the ground out, does advance Rulli to third. But that is the second out on the inning. He'll go down 5-3 to turn over the lineup for Maddox Mandino.
It's a really big opportunity here for the Foresters. There's runner 90 feet away from scoring, but you're down to your final out of the inning. How do you handle it? How do you step up to 2 outs, to this 2-out hitting down by 3?
Here's the pitch. Mandino is going to take a slider away. Ball 1.
And to your point earlier this inning about, the Foresters have been down before this season just once. They were down by 1 to the Oaks back on Saturday. This time they're down by 3. That's an entirely different ball game, Hunter.
1-0 pitch is going to be down for ball 2. We did talk about for Santa Barbara how tight this unit has been just through 3 games. And how can they galvanize themselves in this situation with 2 out, top of the 7th. 2-0 pitch is a fastball clipping the outer half for strike 1. We've always talked about for Bill Pintard and what he does as the manager. For Pat Burns, one of the key coaches, an assistant, and also an associate head coach, who ended his career with the Sturs in 2009, saying Bill Pintard is a master of building team chemistry. So the 2-1 pitch now to Mandino is a broken bat on the left, on the ground to the third baseman, ranges to his left, and the throw will be in time, just barely. The Forster dugout doesn't think so, but it will be a 5-3 ground out. Very close. Mandino had that fantastic back-end speed, but he will be retired, and the Sturs leave a man stranded at third base, unable to bring him home as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Santa Barbara trail by 3. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back in Pasadena, California, you're listening to the Forster Radio Network, live from Jackie Robinson Field. The Forsters trail by 3 runs, 11-8 the score. Arroyo Seco lead. And Tyler Fino, he entered in the last inning in the 6th, will start a fresh inning, and he's going to face the top of the order, Lopez, Enright, and Milto coming up for the Saints.
Yeah, big situation here. You really got to limit the damage. The Saints have scored in, I believe, 3 or 4 straight innings. 4 straight innings, and it's a big moment here. The game's still in striking distance with just 2 innings to go on for your bats. Fino with a clean slate here in the bottom of the 7th.
He's going to be facing a man who has gone 1 for 2 at the plate, along with 2 walks. The plate appearance of the day for Lopez. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a fastball missing inside, or rather, it might have been the off speed, which worked its way towards the batter for ball 1. Lopez, Enright, Milto, and Tyler Fino, who is fantastic so far this season. 1-0 pitch. There's a high ball. Looked like the trying to go to the slider. That did not slide. It was near the wheelhouse, up near high, near the batter's head, and the Arroyo Seco Saints dugout erupted. It is ball 2.
They've already gotten a warning for on one end about questioning the high pitches. Now they're kind of chirping them.
2-0. Fastball down and away and not close for ball 3. It was a long slide for Madrid Murray to collect that ball in the other batter's box, Lopez, who bats from the right side.
One of the first times this season where we've really seen Fino get behind on a count. He's behind 3-0 here.
The leadoff man. Here comes the pitch. It's going to miss away, not close. Ball 4 and a 4-pitch leadoff walk for Eli Lopez. And for the 5th time this ball game, he's aboard. 3rd walk. The 2 other times an error and a base hit. But the 7th will start with a walk to the Saints to bring around Schroeder Enright, who's had a nice day at the plate.
Enright, couple of hits, one hit, couple of walks. So he's done a really good job of getting on.
And the Saints, as a team entering today, hit, on-base percentage of .473 through the first 4 games. The Sturs leading the CCL in that department over .500. Man on, nobody out. The pitch squaring around to bunt, but the slider will miss to Enright in. That is 5 straight balls for Tyler Fino to start off this inning.
That's really uncharacteristic compared to what we've used to for Fino. You know, he went 9 up, 9 down in his first appearance as a Star. Now it was up his first walk. It's a situation to be in, though.
Sturs trail by 3 runs, 11-8. Arroyo Seco, they lead. 1-0 pitch is foul back directly behind home plate. It's one of the poles holding up the chain link fence that surrounds this backstop directly behind the plates. 1-1. And that blood moon that continues to get a little bit higher over the right field fence and over the right field foul pole. It's got a little bit of a haze around it. Almost like it's about to rain. A little aura around the moon beyond the right field wall. You feel like a little moisture in the air. Dense air here now at Jackie Robinson Field compared to the first pitch. Man at first, and a check to him. He had to try to pick up a secondary lead, but it remains 1-1 to Enright.
There's nothing like the side of a full moon illuminating the night sky of a sporting event.
1-1. Next batter will be Joey Milto, but Enright, who's at the plate, took a moment, who bats from the left side and digs back in. The Saints lead 11-8 over the Foresters. And Fino from the middle of the hill. Check back to the man at first, trying to pick up that secondary lead again, but it still remains, still awaiting the next pitch to Enright. You look at the history between these two teams. The Sturs took 2 out of 3 games last year against the Arroyo Seco Saints. And 2 of the 3 games were decided by just 1 run. How will this game end down the stretch? The 1-1 is a slider missing in. That is ball 2, and Fino does have a strike on Enright, but a couple of those sliders missing. And you can hear the bullpen warming up down the right field fence in that lawn area where the bullpen is located, far away from the first base dugout. Here's the 2-1. The runner will take off. No throw down from Madrid Murray as the ball was inside. Not a clean transfer, even not a clean reception of the pitch by Madrid Murray. and a stolen base for Eli Lopez. That is his third stolen bag of the game. Down to second base, nobody out.
To think I said at the very top of this broadcast, this is a guy, Eli Lopez, that might not steal a base. He's done it 3 times.
Look back to second for Fino, 3-1. Swing and a miss, big cut there from Enright on the fastball. Nothing but air, full count.
Really nice for Fino to see someone just take that big of a whiff at one of your pitches.
11-8, the Saints lead. Under the Pasadena night, illuminated by that moon over the right field fence. Here comes a big 3-2 pitch. Fastball inside, ball 4 and 2 walks in this inning for Tyler Fino to put 2 on, nobody out for the Saints.
Really tough miss there. You come back in the count for Fino, and then, you come into a situation because you got this trust of being able to get quick outs, and now you got two on. Bottom of the 7th in a 3-run game where it still is at that distance where you can come back. Got to get it out here. Have to get it out here.
Enright's walk was the 8th given up today by Santa Barbara pitching. 3-run game, nobody out. Here's the first pitch to number 3 batter. It's going to be a called strike on a breaking ball to Joey Milto, 0-1.
That's a really good job of getting a ball, your first pitch in the zone.
Lopez at second, Enright at first, and Milto today, he's gone 1 for 4. He has brought home 2 runs and plated a run himself. And Fino was stepped off as Sawyer Farr went back to retreated at shortstop. He was holding on to the runner for a second, retreated back to short, and no throw over to second. Milto has K'd twice, ground out to first. That brought home a run, then infield single, which brought home a run as well. Last time he was up. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a slider missing upstairs, and it's ball 1. Just in the bottom of the 7th, Saints leading 11-8 over the Sturs after at one point going to the bottom of the 4th. Santa Barbara led 8-1 over the Saints, then 3 runs in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 6 in the 6th inning for Arroyo Seco. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball inside, nearly hit the right knee of Joey Milto. It's ball 2. And the Sturs said, what would be the response? Top half of the 7th after giving up 6 runs. They had a man on, couldn't bring him home after Easton Rulli started off the inning with an RBI single. Can't afford to give up more runs, down by 3, bottom of 7. 6 outs to play with. Here's the 2-1. Is a slider missing inside again, nearly hits the right side of Milto, and Madrid Murray, big slide to his right, 3-1.
Basically the same pitch in a row, back-to-back times. Just a slider that was just way too outside of his zone. Wasn't generating the swing and miss that Fino's looking for. He's got to find the zone here at the 3-1.
To follow Milto will be J.J. Kennett. Currently 0 for 3 with the walk. Stands on deck, but right now, nobody out, 2 on. Big 3-1 pitch is going to clip the outside hedge. Looked like the changeup that time, full count.
That's what you needed to do.
Needing a big first out here in the 7th. And Tyler Fino called on in a jam in the 6th inning. Looks to second. 3-2 pitch. Sprayed down the left field line, well foul. And out of play over the Saints bullpen, which is down that left field line. Remains 3-2. We did tell you earlier in this game, Darren Orlando was slated to be the 3rd man out of the bullpen. Scott Murray and Bill Pintardo went with Tyler Fino. There's men up in the pen for the Sturs, but the payoff pitch is in there, called strike 3. Milto goes down looking. It's that slider from Fino. Locates this time. Big first out in the 7th.
Massive first out, and Milto, that's his 3rd strikeout today. Obviously had that massive bases clearing double last time through, but big out there for Fino to get his first of the inning.
So first and second still. Now 1 out for J.J. Kennett. Bats from the right side against the right-handed reliever. Here's the pitch. Slider in there for a strike, 0-1.
I think a big reason why the, Saints were able to come back in this game was they were struggling with strikeouts, and now that's only their first strikeout in the last couple innings. Good job of, changing up their approach as batters.
Finau. A little bit of a rock from the middle of the hill. Look to second, fires the 0-1. Slider will bounce in. Madrid Murray knocked it down, but the runner from second takes off to third and will advance. So it will now be first and third as Lopez advances on the errant pitch. Is in the dirt. Madrid Murray does probably his best you could ever ask for. Knocked it down, but just trundled away to him to his right.
Wouldn't be surprised, with that second base now open, if Enright's now thinking if he steals, and maybe that could open up Lopez to score at home.
He was able to do that too, eliminating a ground ball to try to turn a double play. We'll have to see what the Saints do here. First and third, 1 out. 11-8 the score. The Saints on top of the Foresters. Here comes the 1-1. And that's going to hit the batter. Time being called, and that was a high and in. It was hit the left forearm. And another hit batter in this game. And in some visible pain, J.J. Kennett kind of favoring one of his arms and will go down to first base. That's going to load up the bases. 1 out. 3-run lead for the Saints, and Bill Pintard appears out of the first base dugout, and that looks like it's going to be it for Tyler Finau. A new arm is entering for Santa Barbara. Base is loaded, 1 out, and the Saints lead 11-8 over the Sturs.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back in Pasadena, California, the Foresters have to go to their bullpen. For the fourth time tonight, Darren Orlando will make his Foresters debut, and he's going to be in a tough spot. The bases will be loaded, only a single out, and the Foresters trail by 3 runs, and we're in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, but granted, like, the last couple times we've seen a Forester reliever come in with bases loaded, they've gotten out of the jam, you know. Fino did it back in earlier this game. Josh Heineman did it. His appearance against Conejo. Bit of a trend here, and this is a new arm that we haven't seen before. Darren Orlando plays his college ball at Santa Barbara City College. Excited to see what he can do here in his first appearance for the Stars this season.
And a massive spot called on by his manager, Bill Pintard, and pitching coach. Throws from the right side. Here's the first pitch. Nice fastball located on the inner half of the plate to the lefty batter of Jacob Freer. There was a big slide from Grant Madrid Murray, who was lined up more on the left-hand side of the plate, but the fastball did locate, even though he did have to slide quite a far distance to his right.
Maybe was expecting it on the outer half there.
Nothing in one, bases loaded, one out. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a slider missing away. 1-1. Jacob Freer, who today has gone 1 for 4. He struck out those first 3 times, but the massive bases clearing double in the last inning when the Saints pushed in 6 runs. Orlando, 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball and a big cut from Freer. Hits nothing but air, strike 2.
Orlando, a little more velo than Fino. Perhaps Arroyo Seco having a hard time catching up to it.
Lopez at third, Enright at second. Kennett is at first, who was just hit by a pitch by Fino to reach base. The 1-2 pitch is a slider down the right field line. That ball is fair. Base hit and right, 1 run in, and the runner from second will hold up at third base, and it will be an RBI single for Jacob Freer. And the Saints extend their lead 12-8 over the Stars.
Perfectly placed baseball by Freer to just land in between that gap between first and right field. Great throw, though, by Terrence Kill, kind of cuts off the runner at third, although I think the Saints are more than happy to keep him there, just keep on passing bats and get a bit of a rally going here in the bottom of the 8th and bottom of the 7th, and really bury this game.
Bauer will now be the DH Jack Little. 1 for 2, 2 for 3 day rather. Here's the pitch. High fastball, leaned back, that is ball 1. In a game that was initially delayed by issues with second base, unable to tack it in a spot, into place rather. The actual bag delayed the first pitch by about 15 minutes. Approaching 10 o'clock local time. The base is loaded, 1 out. 1-0 pitch is a slider, and their first strike, 1-1.
Do you remember when I mentioned that Jack Little was the second ever Jack Little to play baseball at Baylor?
Yes.
You have to go back to 1911 for the first, who was a guy named Jack Little, obviously, and went on to play for the Yankees.
I like it. Nice one. 1-1 pitch is a changeup missing. No, called strike on the inner half of the plate to the right-handed batter. 1-2.
We like to do our research around here, Hunter.
Like it. Bases filled with Saints with a run in. And the lead now at 4 for Arroyo Seco. Orlando in his first appearance, 1-2 pitch, fastball down, good cover by Madrid Murray, 2-2. In case you're wondering, the 8th have Farr, Mumon, and Clark. That is 2, 3, and 4 scheduled for the Stars. Infield playing straight away. Caleb Hoover is playing a fraction in front of first base. Say just to the left and towards the infield grass as Darren Orlando takes a stroll behind the back edge of the hill, and it looks like our plate umpire issuing a warning to the third base dugout. There was an issue of a warning on the pitching on a ball that nearly hit high off of a Forester batter, and I should say the discourse continues between the two parties, the plate umpire. Or did he toss someone already and saying, get out of the dugout?
I didn't see the motion to toss somebody. I think he's kind of talking over to the third base coach for a bit, and that elicited some chirps from the dugout. Maybe someone got ejected, as I kind of see him pull out his book, writing something down. Someone's walking out. That might be, I think someone did get ejected there.
Might have been one of the players at the bench coach, but he's kind of the ushering motion with his left hand, almost of move along, so to speak, and it looks like there was an ejection in that third base dugout. And now the man at third base, Enright, saying something about what happened in the third base dugout. And now the third base coach also saying something.
I think Little's a little fed up about it right here. He just wants to get back to hitting the ball. Said it's just extended conversation here, dragging on. I think we're fully resolved here.
And it has been an interesting game all the way through. All the hit batters, and thankfully all the number of batters have been hit in the head. Thankfully everyone's been okay, but when Ruli got hit, Kaimi Kahalakai got ejected in the first base dugout, more of a prank, so to speak, to a college teammate on the infield on the other team. And the first base umpire thought it was legit, more of just a friendly banter with your college teammate. And Kahalakai got ejected, and he was saying, I wasn't just talking to my college teammate, and he got tossed. But the bases loaded, 1 out, the 2-2 is a fastball, swinging a foul tip back into the glove. Jack Little goes down swinging the fastball from Orlando.
It's that velo from Orlando that I was talking about earlier. Good job attacking back at him. Did a really good job of drawing strikeouts at Santa Barbara City College this past season. 20 strikeouts over the course of 14 2/3 innings. Really good strikeout stuff. There's just some more chirping between the dugout and the home plate ump.
And probably even more vocal now as the third base dugout is the batter, Gannon Snyder. Bats from the right side will stand in, but a massive second out, just a ground ball to end this inning.
I mean, I'm personally all for the energy, but you guys are winning the game by 4 runs.
Here's the pitch. Fastball high in the zone. Called strike, and the Saints not too happy that that was called a strike, but it was, might have looked a little high, and now both dugouts kind of energized at this point.
And they're like, because you're chirping at him the whole game, maybe he's less inclined to give you a borderline call there, you know?
The 0-1. That's going to miss well away on a breaking ball. Sliding to his right was Madrid Murray, so the score remains 12-8. A run in this inning for the Saints. Bases remain loaded for the second straight batter. Massive punchy by Orlando. First punch out this season with the Sturs. Got Little swinging. Bases remain loaded. It's now 1-1. From the middle of the bump. Darren, the 1-1 pitch. High fastball missing in. 2-1.
Just got to find yourself a way to settle in here if you're Orlando. Put on the metaphorical headphones, block out the outside noise, and get this final out.
Limit the damage to just a single run. 12-8 the score. Saints on top. 2-1 pitch. Fastball missing in. Ball 3.
Bases are loaded. You cannot walk in a run here.
In case you're wondering, the number 8 batter, Medella, is on deck. And Orlando working more from the third base side of the bump. The right-handed reliever against the right-handed bat of Snyder. 3-1 pitch, check swing. Time being called. It looks like that ball just got a piece of the barrel on the check swing. Full count. Just rolled harmlessly down the third baseline and foul ground. And with 2 out, bases loaded, and everyone on the move. Full count for Gannon Snyder and Darren Orlando. He comes set. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Orlando gets out of the jam, amped, as he motors his way over to the first base dugout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Darren. What a way to make your debut for the Sturs. Back-to-back Ks, and you limit the damage to just a single run. We head to the 8th. Foresters trail by 4. Far, Muma, Clark coming up next.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Back at Jackie Robinson Field in Pasadena, just right across the street from the Rose Bowl. We just got news. The game will be called not final the score. So we are headed to the 8th inning, but the game will not be finished and will be finished at a later date. And we assume 10 o'clock. That's be probably off the playing surface, and this game's going to have to be finished on another day.
Yeah, this is a first for me here in the CCL. This is a really interesting development, Hunter. But that's just what happens when you get a late start. You get a couple players, a couple batters hit, guys getting checked out, longer innings, rallies. We were kind of joking about this off air, but the Foresters like to play long games. Bites them in the neck per se. Like, game gets called, and maybe that's to their advantage, to their disadvantage. Who knows? We still have 2 more innings to play in a 4-run game. All the momentum kind of feeling like it was with Arroyo Seco. I mean, really interesting development here at Jackie Robinson.
So the game being called, and this will have to be finished at a later date, and now that's why the game was called, because the stadium lights just flicked off. So, rightfully so, because the stadium lights just turned off. We still got a little bit of ambient light around the playing surface here, but so to speak, getting called for darkness because the stadium lights turned off. We're going to have to finish this one up some other time, so thanks for sticking with us wherever you may be. 10 o'clock local time, and the stadium lights click off, and the Sturs, whenever this game will be played next, will be at a 4-run deficit, and they will have Farr, Mumma, and Clark coming to the plate. An interesting day, and the Sturs will be back on the road tomorrow and with an unfinished game, but they'll be playing the Conejo Oaks tomorrow, 4 o'clock first pitch.
That's how it's going to be, Hunter. I mean, very, very interesting. Yeah, they're packing things up. The lights are off. Going to be a very interesting bus ride back to Santa Barbara for us.
Well, we thank you for sticking with us, and for the entire team, the entire front office, for Nate Martin, I am Hunter Schmink saying so long with this game getting called for darkness with the lights being shut off. Have to be finished at some other time. Currently, the Saints leading 12-8 over the Sturs, to be played at a later date. The Sturs will be back in action tomorrow on the road. First pitch down in Thousand Oaks against the Conejo Oaks at 4 o'clock local time. So we'll see you then. Sturs back in action tomorrow in Thousand Oaks. We'll see you then.